Good afternoon, everybody. Dadman Walking 55 coming to you live on the last week of the college football season. Games live, and I'm fighting with my TV for, everybody bashed the old days of antennas and rabbit ears, but damn, we at least got good signal. This day and age of this stuff with these plug-in antenna craps, just digital TV is a bunch of crap. TV's got nothing over the air but worse than anything else. But hey, Wade, good to see you. Go Vandy. I'm trying to get that game back on live as we anyway. It's just really frustrating. It's like in and out. Give me a second. Trying to fart with this damn connection on the TV. All right. Feel free to share the stream out, folks. I might have to call the missus for technical help. You never know. And we just played around with these cables the other day. So we just played with these cables the other day. It was working for half a second. Now it's because I like to keep it on the over the air because I've got Ohio State, Michigan also going. Gundy sucks. Yes. Yeah, he does. Oklahoma State is really just a shell of its former self. Definitely not. All right. Let me see if I can borrow the missus for a minute before the Fortnite thing goes live. I don't know. Give me a second. I'll be right back with you. Get the tweet out and stuff. Hey, can you come help me?
No, not really. I got to get into the game thing.
Okay, because I'm having problems with that antenna thing. It's okay. So
Sorry.
I didn't know if you had another 40 minutes.
I can't write this.
Okay. All right. All right. Florida. No. I don't want Gundy. No. I don't even know that I want Lane Kiffin right now, considering what Lane Kiffin is his lack of success. Lane Kiffin does a lot of talking. That's a lot like old ball coach Spurrier. But I tell you what, though, Spurrier won. Gundy has not been winning much of anything lately. So, all right, we got 4 people with us today. I am still working to get things set up. I wanted to go live quickly. This it's a last day regular season games for this season. Next week will be conference championship games, and there's just a lot of excitement there. Excuse me. I was with Hangout, and it was like found out Tennessee was already up 17. Vanderbilt was already up 17-7 on Tennessee, and I was like, what the hell? What the Hades? So I nearly choked my drink out, and so now we're coming. We're going to take a look. Just sit back, lay back. We're going to watch the game, and feel free have what you want to say. We'll talk about the games. I'll talk about some of the games last night, the games going on today. Kind of like a regular scoreboard show, but keep a good mix of balance. And Bowsette, how are you today? Good to see you. Yeah, I this digital TV stuff when they convert everything to digital, these plug-in antennas, it's not the same. It's like always fighting for a freaking signal. It's just bullshit. I mean, and then it moves on you. You get bad weather. You might as well have satellite for what it does nowadays. Give me a second, folks. I don't know. Could be our cables too. But it's just bizarre what's happening with this thing. No. Yeah, I've completely undone what the missus did the other day, but it still keeps saying no signal. So, yeah, we keep fighting it. Yeah, that was another thing many years ago the politicians did that sucked. It's like TV wasn't broken. Everything that they did to try to make things better, supposedly, they just screw it up. Sorry. The over the air, you know how you can put the antenna boxes, the digital converters. Many years ago, you used to use rabbit ears and could be able to just watch something as you want to over the main networks. Well, now it's all digital, so you got to get the box to scramble it right, and now you got to make sure you're within the right range to be able to get a decent signal. Anyway, yeah, exactly, because it's just like, I had old TVs. I could take a portable TV with me to work to watch March Madness. Can't do it anymore because you don't have a cable. You don't have the digital box converter thing. It's like the old light bulbs. We bought boxes of them because we still use them. We didn't want the new shit. Anyway, sorry for the rampaging today, because it's like, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But and everything they do to say it's going to help you make it better, it's like, yeah. Anyway, but hey, we don't want to hear about that. It's football day. I have a backup plan to get to the ABC game. Not what I want, because I'm flipping between that game and the Michigan-Ohio State game right now. Michigan is on the road at Ohio State, has a 7-3 lead in this game, which is a very kind of unexpected, very low scoring. Tennessee does drive to get a field goal, so take a look at the games and the scores that are ongoing right now. The top 25, they showed a 1950 Michigan-Ohio State game where it was a blizzard. Man, I guess it's cold up there from what it looks like. Michigan has the ball at inside the 40 now, second down. So this game's going to come down to, can Michigan score enough points to beat Ohio State? I used to generally Ohio State will get their offense kicked around in the second half and get things moving. But, sorry. Did not mute the phone down. Yeah, digital TV is crap. I agree, Bowsette. Because it's, I can't, used to with your antennas, you used to get, your ABC, CBS, NBC. Now it's like we lose one of the three because of where the stations are located. It's crazy. Yep, I agree. I don't get into politics, but I tell you what, yeah, it's we're here to help. Yeah, and it's like nobody asked them to change our light bulbs. Nobody asked them to change the TV. It just screwed me. It took away my options. Like I said, I used to be able to take a black and white TV and to, kind of have it on the side as I could around at work during March Madness. Not anymore, because they don't work anymore. Now you got to go, if you want to watch anything, is you're streaming on your phone, and it's like, I don't always want to do that. So, all right. So let's take a look at the scores right now that are going on. Michigan had a 3rd and 7. See, Michigan's failure is that they cannot throw a friggin' forward pass against a decent team. So they'll be forced to a 4th down. We'll see if they'll go for it or if they're going to try to kick them deep. So trying to go through the scores right now at the top 25, Michigan's at number 2, Ohio State. Michigan leads 7-3. Vanderbilt leads over Tennessee 17-10 in the second quarter, halfway through. This game could have been 24-7 or at least 20-7, but Vanderbilt threw an interception, driving the ball in on a really weird deflected pass. Tennessee made a good play to pick it off. Then Tennessee goes down and scores a field goal, cuts it to a 1-score game. In Columbia, approaching halftime, 12th-ranked Clemson at home lead is tied with 15th-ranked South Carolina at 7. Very low-scoring slugfest here in this game. In the Big Ten, another game, Illinois, 23rd ranked, is on the road at Northwestern, leading 14-10. Later today, games involving Big Ten top 25 teams. Maryland at number 4, Penn State at 3:30. 3:30, number 5, Notre Dame goes out to fight the men of Troy. USC in California. Also at 3:30, Miami, 6th ranked at Syracuse. California at number 9 ranked SMU in a game that could be important for the ACC matchup. Auburn, Alabama. The Iron Bowl plays at 3:30 on ABC, which is why I want to get my ABC connection ready. Arizona State, Arizona, a old Pac-10 rivalry that's now in the Big 12. So they face off at 3:30 on Fox. Arkansas goes to 21st ranked Missouri. Purdue is at 10th ranked Penicillin. I was about to say Penicillin. Indiana, 10th ranked at 7 o'clock tonight. NBC, Washington travels to Eugene. This game was always a big game in the Pac-12. Number one team will be in action then. The game, I think, of the day for a lot of people, even bigger than the Iron Bowl, is the Texas at Texas A&M matchup that restores a rivalry that was put off for many years once Texas A&M left the Big 12 and became a member of the Southeastern Conference. Now both are members of the Southeastern Conference, and the series resumes tonight at Kyle Field in College Station. 24th ranked Kansas State goes to play at 18th ranked Iowa State. Nevada plays UNLV at 8, and then Houston travels to BYU. 19th ranked Cougars have fallen off in recent weeks, but they host the Cougars in one of the last games of the week of the regular season around college football. I think the last game of the day is the last game of the regular season is involving Hawaii, but that game is not on television. So let's see how we go. All right. So this is going to be a little bit of chill. I may not talk all the time. Michigan did add a field goal, so Michigan's up 10-3 in this game. And a very big heated rivalry. We'll see. This game has major implications on the national playoffs matchups. Ohio State is another team. They're once dominant. They're struggling some games. It's struggling with a Michigan team that really has no offense, no ability to throw the ball down the field. Let's see. Let me get back to. Like I said, I've got options. So I'm going to see about finding that the Vanderbilt Tennessee game. Yeah, there we go. All right. And now Tennessee has tied up Tennessee scores touchdown now. Their point after touchdown is pending, tying up Vanderbilt. And there they go. They tied it. See, that game, that's another game that just flipped momentum. Vanderbilt had a 17-7 lead early in this game, and they've lost all momentum now. Tennessee has rallied back after a Vanderbilt pick. It looks like an 80-something yard touchdown pass from Nico. Just outran the defense. That's what's sad. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, you're playing you're at home, but you're playing a road game every week. But hey, Vanderbilt got burned. Secondary was up too tight. So this game is a new ball game, guys. That leads a lot of debate because Georgia struggled last night, but they pulled off for the win. Tennessee struggled today. Now they pulled tied with Vanderbilt. What happens with the playoff situation with the SEC teams? How many teams will they get in? If you have teams like Georgia and Tennessee struggling, but at this point, winning the game is the main thing. You win and you advance, most likely. It must be cold up there. I don't know. It just started getting cool here in Florida, but still, everybody's got hoodies on and all this thing. I'm like, is it really that cold out there? We can still wear shorts where we are, and I like that. Go faster. You look at the headsets on these guys. So, I wonder if they're checking his neck. One of the Tennessee players is down on the field. All right. Louisville leads in a game of unranked teams. Louisville, who has also fallen off in recent weeks, is in a rivalry game with Kentucky, leads 20-0 at halftime. So, go You gotta figure how that should Heupel walking out and check on the player on the field. Baylor leads Kansas 21-10. Also at the half. It's just a shame for Vanderbilt in this game. This is a game that, yeah, they're bowl eligible with 6 wins, but you know it would be good for Vanderbilt to actually do as good as they can this year. But ended up with 6 wins. They had 6 wins a few weeks ago, but have been losing some close games and then getting blown out in other games. But the miracle of Vanderbilt, you just kind of hope that they do a bit more. Yeah. Yeah. It was cold at AF there yesterday and last night. And yeah, they say the cold weather's coming and it's a little chillier out there today, but I don't. Yeah. Let's see. Let's take a look at what other games are on the menu right now. Crap, hit the wrong button. So that's a new ball game, so we'll follow that a little bit more as time goes on. Let me see what the list of games. Okay, South Carolina Clemson's at halftime, Kansas Baylor at halftime, Louisiana Monroe. Okay, so I'm going to pop back over because we're nearing halftime in the Ohio State Michigan game, and we'll watch that towards the halftime. So, yeah. Hopefully, y'all are doing good. If you recovered from turkey and all that, I might have to go get me a piece of pie in a few minutes. I ate Chick-fil-A with the kid earlier, and I have not had Chick-fil-A in, I don't know, years. Uh-oh. Why do these college football coaches always, these players sometimes always keep trying to use war terms in a football game? It just, makes no sense. So, all right. Looks like Ohio State has the ball with under 2 minutes left. They had the ball about midfield, first down. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I normally do, but hey, the kid wanted to go there, so I decided to do something different. It wasn't bad. It was better than what I remembered it as. But the main problem is it just seems so expensive. More expensive than what it's worth. And trying to get in a damn place is like dry and bland to you. Yeah, this one I'd say they did okay today. The fries were actually hot for once. But I got you. And everything's gotten so expensive now. You want to make sure it's not dry and bland, and you want to make sure it's good. Yeah, way too expensive. Absolutely, I agree. But so it was a treat. Yeah, looks like, yep, Ohio State. I agree, Bowsette. Dairy Queen is better, I will say. But we've been going to Dairy Queen way too much, and I need to. I got that chocolate pie in there, so I'm trying to save room for that instead of. I couldn't have ice cream and pie. Yeah, I could, but I just need to be a little bit careful. So, all right. So Ohio State now is driving against Michigan again, with about a minute left. Yeah, they're starting to dice Michigan to death going down the field. So 10-3 Michigan in this game under 2 minutes. South Carolina and Clemson are tied at 7. Illinois goes to half leading Northwestern 14-10. Those are all the games involving the top 25 teams at the moment. It looks like Vanderbilt is now starting to drive the ball again. But we're going to stick with the Michigan-Ohio State game for a few minutes. When we hit halftime with this game, I'm going to talk about the Georgia game, start looking at some of the stats of the game so far. And, yeah, they're going to call pass interference on that one. Didn't even turn around and look at the ball. Oh, you really bounced that? I actually like Zaxby's fries. I thought they had good fries, but are they just too dry, too hard? But yeah, I like a good crinkle cut fry, but yeah. Well, Yeah, quit. I hate these quarterbacks and receivers. Quit whining for a pass interference call. You'll get it. Do not worry with that. Let's take a look around the nation of all games, not also including the non-top 25 teams. We've talked about those games. Louisville leads Kentucky 20-0. Will Bob Stoops retire? I mean, not Bob Stoops, Mike Stoops. Are his days in Lexington numbered? The winningest Kentucky football coach of all time. It's been a very difficult season. UMass leads UConn 28-24. Our friend Martin D. will see your UConn. I guess they got 7 wins this year, but UMass is aiming for its 3rd win this year. They actually pushed Georgia a little bit last week. And we have a touchdown for Ohio State. So this game probably will go tied at halftime, which tells me that this second half probably could get ugly really quick for Michigan with the way Ohio State has been moving the ball. So, okay. They are super dry. It's like they overcook them, I guess. They have to eat them super fast. I understand cold fries get horrible. Yeah. Hey, Small Town Republic, good to see you. John Summerall, Tulane coach, would likely be a candidate at Kentucky. Yeah, that would be a good fit for them. Which is kind of shame, that Mike Stoops has been very frustrating he's had a lot of success against the Gators, I will say, and he actually became the winningest Kentucky football coach playing. I think it was last year's win over the Gators, which was very appropriate. But it almost seems like the talk is that they're going to make a change, or he wants out. But then again, how much can you recruit to Lexington? Their problem has been finding a quarterback to run an offense to score points. They bring in Brock Vandergrift, the transfer from Georgia. Still no real improvement. But then again, at what point does it become the system and the coaching, the head coach philosophy? I mean, Vandergrift seemed to be a decent quarterback, but hey, Georgia's got Carson Beck, and we're seeing him struggle mightily these days. The exception is cheddar, bacon, ranch fries. Oh, okay. Well, of course, that has a lot of other goodness put on it. So, all right, we're going to move from the Michigan-Ohio State game. That's 10-10 with 30 seconds left. Barring anything crazy or unforeseen, that's where that game should end up at the half. So let's flip back over. Vanderbilt was driving a moment ago against Kentucky. Tennessee. Let's see where they sit. Like I said later today, we got Arkansas, Missouri, and SEC. We also have the Iron Bowl. Small Town Republic. Your good old Auburn Tigers go on the road to Tuscaloosa. Do you think that they have a chance against Alabama? I will say. We've seen the Crimson Tide in recent weeks struggle at home too, not just on the road, but they have struggled at times. But can Peyton Thorne improve? Can he actually throw effectively against that Alabama defense? Many questions with that. So, Vanderbilt had to punt, so Tennessee takes over the ball at their own 4-yard line. And with about a little over 2 minutes left in the game. So, oh, yes. These SEC announcers on this game with the Vanderbilt, Tennessee kind of talked about that. They were worried about his mental state if he loses this game today. And just, I don't understand. Tell you what, the pressure to win. I mean, Ohio State has been up there for many, many years. And, I mean, it's a down year by their standards, but still, I mean, that's like, gosh, But it'll be interesting to see how the playoff picture works out this year. Wow, Texas Tech leads at home over West Virginia, 35-3. But West Virginia has 6 wins, so they'll be in a bowl game. Louisiana and UL Monroe are tied at 13. Army leads UT San Antonio 13-10. Let's take. Just for JT Kirk, Eastern Michigan and Western Michigan are tied at 0. All other games remain to be seen. They start later today. Ohio State. That's the thing is 10-1 overall and 7-1. I'd love to have that problem. They have 10 wins. So Yes, exactly. Decent chance. Second in the SEC in yards per play. Just had costly turnovers, missed field goals, and close. Exactly. And get the couple of highlights too with that. The the turnovers have killed him, especially some really quirky, weird ones. Peyton Thorne sometimes the fumbles have just been amazing. But they finally found a kicker a few weeks ago because they were under 50% for field goals for the year. And I guess that there was the story I heard last week was their current kicker is this kid that they pulled out of class. He played at Birmingham Southern or some really unknown small school in Alabama that disbanded his football program. They found him in class or something, and they're like, got him out there and had him kick, and now he's the starting kicker for Auburn, and he's been reliable. He was very clutch last week in that win over Texas A&M. So, and I tell you, if you can hold Jalen Milroe from running the ball, if you can keep him contained and cut down the big plays, you got a chance. So, and you never know. In the SEC, no games could be taken for granted, even when you go on the road. All right, it is officially gone to halftime with Michigan and Ohio State. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to keep an eye on this Tennessee Vanderbilt game before I start getting into some stats. Let me take a look at, let's see. Well, let's look at a couple of the stats real quick from the Ohio State game. Davis Warren, 6 of 8, 31 yards. Nice job, Michigan. 5 yards of completion. There you go. Has run for 82 yards, but you know what? You're going to have to throw the ball more. This is Billy Napier offense. 8 passes, 18 rushes. But you know what? Then again, though, it's Big Ten football. Ohio State, Will Howard's 12 of 18 has a touchdown and a pick. Quinshaw Judkins, a former Ole Miss player, 6 carries, 25 yards. Ohio State has run for 36 yards in this game. And so it's knotted up at 0 at the half. Let's see, take a look at what's going on. Ohio State started the scoring with 6 minutes left in the first half, 20-yard field goal. Michigan has a 1-yard touchdown run and followed by a 54-yard field goal with about 2 minutes left in the first half, but then Ohio State gets the ball, marches down, ties it up going into half. So far, 155 yards for Ohio State, 113 for Michigan. Time possession is 16-14, pretty much fairly even. And that's what we see there in this game so far. Now, the game that we're watching is now in a commercial. Tennessee and Vanderbilt is tied at 17. It is at a break at the moment. So we will go back. We'll take a look at, let's see. Let's take a quick look into the stats of the at half South Carolina at Clemson. This game could have an effect on the national playoff position. It could eliminate Clemson. There are rumors of the potential nature of how games go across the country. A 3-team SEC, a 3-loss SEC team getting in. South Carolina's name has been mentioned, which is bizarre. You would not think it possible, but it is possible. They're up high in the playoff standings. So never say never with them. Let's see. Lenore Sellers, 7 of 10, 71 yards for Carolina. Carolina has 107 yards rushing so far, led by Lenore Seller. Raheem Sanders only has 22 yards on 9 carries. So Clemson seems to be stuffing the run game for the Gamecocks. Of course, Cade Klubnik is 148 yards passing, 11 of 16 passing. And Clemson is running the ball for 80 yards. So, not bad offensive output. So 2nd and 6. Vanderbilt could not stop Tennessee. So Tennessee gets the first down. Tennessee will move the ball with 1:54. So, oh gosh, yeah. If If South Carolina beating Clemson opens the door for Alabama, I'll be irritated. There will be half the country will be with you. I know our friend JT Kirk will be right there with you. You know, I tell you, it's like you don't want your enemies to do better. Like in spite of my complaints with the Gators, and I will say, you got to give them credit for the last few weeks. The kids have worked hard. The kids have played well. I still have my doubts about this coaching staff long term. I think it's very easy to pass interference on Vanderbilt. They called. You got to get head turnaround. I still have some long term concerns and problems with Billy Napier. I still don't think he will be a top tier SEC conference coach. I believe this year, Florida has been the beneficiary of, I don't think it's as much as them advancing as some teams have regressed. Case in point, LSU, no better on defense, but you have a quarterback that will turn the ball over a lot more. Ole Miss, I mean, as much at one point as I said I want Lane Kiffin, but Lane Kiffin has done nothing but prove himself as Lane Kiffin. Like Penn State of the South, the joke about Penn State and James Franklin not beating anybody worth a damn. Same thing at Ole Miss. They did beat Georgia at home finally, but what they do? They go on the road to lose. They lost at home to Kentucky. They go on the road and lose at Florida. I just Lane Kiffin. You thought the monkey was off his back with the win over Georgia, but then again, you start to wonder how the quality of the SEC is this year. Are they really just maybe overrated? Oh man! And I almost did a pickoff for Vanderbilt, but the ball had carried him out of bounds. So, 6 of y'all watching. Woohoo! Thank you. All right. Like I said, they're just gonna sit back and watch this game. Let's see. Let me take a look at the stats of this Tennessee Vanderbilt. Won't get into a lot of these games, but at halftime, I'm going to take a look back at the Georgia game last night. Nico's 8-11 for 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Tennessee has run for 92 yards. Dylan Sampson averaging 9 yards a carry so far in the first half, folks. That does not bode well for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had an early lead, and Tennessee has stormed back. And Tennessee is marching down again. I got a feeling that Vanderbilt, when Diego Pavia is 4 of 12 for 31 yards and a fluky pick, they're not. Vanderbilt struggling today. They've run for 115 yards, but Tennessee's. I think Tennessee's just a few plays from putting this game away. Honestly, it's 4 completions for Vanderbilt, 31 yards. I mean, really not much production in the passing game either. Only 2 receivers have caught passes for them. Yeah. Vanderbilt is like Georgia Tech. Less talent than others, ball control offense to run clock. Yes. I tell you what, though. I was really impressed with Georgia Tech this year. And I like the direction that they're going the last 2 years. I loved when they kicked FSU's ass this year. They've had some other good wins, but they should have won the game against Georgia last night. There's no doubt about it. And you let a game like that slip away, especially on the road. But that's another team. Do they really deserve being in the playoff? Georgia. I mean, they have looked so pedestrian this year. Carson Beck has definitely regressed as a quarterback in this season. So, again, looking at this whole Vanderbilt situation, let's go to the Gamecast. Let's see how this game started. There's a break on the field because of an injury. Well, there you go. This game started 100-yard kickoff return by Vanderbilt for a touchdown. What better way can you do it? 7-yard touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown run. Vanderbilt goes up 14-0 with 10 minutes left. First start in the game. Then Tennessee responds to that drive with a touchdown for a 28-yard pass from Nico to Thornton. And then Vanderbilt extensively with a 17-7 lead. Then at that point, Vanderbilt was driving a fluky tipped up ball in the end zone resulted in a Tennessee interception. Tennessee then marches down, gets a field goal, pulls to 17-10. Then, with a few minutes later, with 6:38 left in the game, Nico hits Dante Thornton Jr. for 86 yards for that touchdown to tie it at 17. And I tell you what, it's like teams like Vanderbilt, they've got to have the momentum. They've got to play from ahead. You can't get to where you're playing from behind, and for them to lose really a 14-point lead like that puts them behind the 8 ball. I do want to take a look at the Georgia game, though, last night. Georgia Tech was dominating through 3 quarters. So, all right. So who Tennessee takes the timeout now. Anybody wanting Vanderbilt to beat Tennessee, or tell me who you think? Do is Tennessee? You want Vanderbilt for emotional reasons? Do you want Vanderbilt because you hate Tennessee? Do you take Tennessee just because you want to see an SEC team, another one in the playoff system? All right. I'm going to turn around. Oh, sorry. That's down. Yeah, take a look at this. We'll watch to the end of this quarter, the half here, and then take a look at the numbers behind the Georgia game last night. I'd be curious to see what they look like, because early on I took a nap when it was 3-0. Then I woke up. Georgia Tech was up 17-0, and we were doing our live stream last night, and you find out Georgia scores 21 points in the fourth quarter alone to actually force overtime. This could be a big stop for Tennessee, for Vanderbilt right here, is to not let Tennessee score here. At least hold them to a field goal. I was close to a nice play for Tennessee with Nico on the scramble. I just can't. Nico Iamaleava. I think I've never been able to pronounce his name, so that's why I just go with it's Nico. Oh yeah, okay. I see now. Vanderbilt has completed the construction on the stadium. I remember a few years ago when they were building the stadium, it was a train wreck everywhere, but a nice end zone. The only thing is, Vanderbilt is the perpetual road team, even when they play at home. It's they're always and Tennessee will extend the drive with the first down. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Now, see, buddy, okay, like this. Most of the big games feel scripted, especially with questionable ref calls. Takes them out of carrying. So I know a lot of people have been saying, plus your team sucks. Yeah, that doesn't help. Listen, buddy, I tell you, I understand that. My team, they've got 7 wins, but I tell you, it's just really it's because I like I said earlier, I think they're getting better. The kids are doing great. They do have more talent than I probably give them credit for, but I think Florida's improvements on the back of other programs falling down. This should have been like Kiffin's year, hitting the transfer portal on defense. Jackson Dart as a quarterback was a Heisman frontrunner at the beginning of the season. But then again, he gets some big games. Can't win the big games. Finally beat Georgia, but that's been the only win he's had. Yeah. Small Town Republic, I was thinking about that because I saw something. It's just a tweet that I saw where somebody said there was something with a video, and the official from the line judge comes in motioning for false start. But then they said it was an illegal shift. The difference being because one would have made the play not count, and of course, ultimately what was called allowed the play to happen, which actually went against the opponent but helped the Chiefs out. So instead of it being a dead ball that didn't count and a new play, the Chiefs got the ball as a result of the play. I mean, a lot of people are talking about this thing with the Chiefs. I mean, it's you wonder why. And we have a Tennessee touchdown. Well, I think Vanderbilt is about done today. I think unless they can get hot somehow, they shot it. That was a nice throw by Nico. 96-yard scoring drive though, folks. 219. That is impressive. So yeah, but I got you. I get you, buddy. Sometimes it feels like it's like, why bother watching? Now, man, Mississippi State has fallen to 2-10 in the conference. Well, Florida's end up in the middle of the pack. I will say Florida ended up a lot. I think I had to go back and look. I think overall I picked Florida at about set. You know what's going to be funny? I need to go back and look and see how I picked it. I know I'm wrong with some of these teams, but I think I probably got Florida about right. I think that's going to be the oddest thing because I believe I had Florida finishing 7-5, but I had them losing the last 5 games of the year. I don't get it. Yeah, that would be funny. I had to take a look at that, see where I got everybody. I was very hard on A&M. I'm actually surprised with the job Elko's doing there. That quick of a turnaround has been really, really amazing. But I tell you, it goes to Jimbo Fisher had all that talent there and couldn't do anything with it. Of course, now, main thing is at least if Texas A&M can make the SEC championship game, then that's what the boosters will want. Jimbo unfortunately had the divisional arrangements, which meant he was always chasing LSU and Alabama. This in the scramble format, opens things up for people a little bit more, especially once you don't have natural rivalries and mandatory games each year. So 1st and 10, Finity, all hell, how are you today? Yes, we were just taking some time to talk about football. You thought 4-8. Yes, Florida come in with which was regarded by everybody almost universally the hardest schedule in the country. All right. Well, this game, Wake Forest and Duke are now back resumed, and they're in the third quarter. This game is pretty much halftime. So let's take a look at some statistics. This game before the Ohio State game resumes in the second half. 8 people watching. Thank y'all there. Appreciate it. So let's see. So small time. Take a look. I'm curious with that one. Who would you? Do you remember which teams you thought they beat? What the 4 wins would be? Let's see if I can look some. Yep, buddy. That's the play I was talking about. Signals false start. They gathered, change it to illegal shift. Others were born to play dead while the ref drops the beanie. Crazy inning. Yeah, and it keeps happening with the Chiefs. I guess that's what the darndest thing is. With that, let's see. I'm going to go. I'm looking back at what I've got. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Give me a second. I am looking back. So, yeah, buddy, I saw that tweet about that play. Yeah, it was clearly obvious the line judge was calling a false start. And I'm like, I don't know how you get from false start to illegal shift, That is like stupid. All right. I've got it here. I'm curious because All right, let's see. All right, yep. Because here's what I picked. And small town public, if you feel free, if you can remember which 4, or if you thought just the general 4, this is what I was thinking. See, I thought Florida would win. I didn't think A&M would be very good. I didn't think Miami would be nearly what they were. So I basically had them winning at Rocky Top, which they almost did. It's the LSU and Ole Miss that I thought they would lose. I thought they were going to lose the last 5. So if they win tonight against FSU, I will have been wrong in the back parts. But overall, I would have gotten it right at 7-5. There you go. Samford, Mississippi State, UCF in an upset. That that's very reasonably thing to expect with this team coming in. And then as they had more injuries and it fell off the chain. But yeah, man. So I'm curious. I'll have to look and see. I will this year have to sit back and compare where I obviously I'm was way off with A&M and South Carolina. I'll be honest, I did not see South Carolina coming because Shane Beamer's been on the hot seat for a couple of years too. But I wasn't convinced Lenore Sellers could be a passing quarterback. He has shown that he has the ability to not only run but to throw and throw effectively. I think the LSU game could have turned out differently had he not gotten injured in that game. But yeah, that is very. It's not a bad pick there. So all right, see, and here's the current situation with Florida with the SEC. There you go. As you can see, Florida is down there at 4-4, 6-5. Arkansas, Vanderbilt. Let's see, Vanderbilt. I'm wrong. Everybody's wrong about Vanderbilt except those two people that had them first. But even ended up better in the conference than Oklahoma. Auburn, a little bit better. Got a couple wins in the conference. Kentucky, I don't think people foresaw Kentucky being this bad this year in the conference. Everybody knew about Georgia, Texas. Tennessee has been borderline. So I guess A&M has to win tonight to have a chance for the SEC championship game. Because I would presume if Texas wins, then Georgia advances to the SEC championship game since they beat Tennessee head-to-head. It's interesting. I have to look at the scenarios if it ended up a four-way tie, though, which could really be interesting. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, and this week Florida's been getting some new recruits unexpectedly. People are flipping. But let's take a look at the Georgia game. When I'm going over to the Georgia stats, what about this story about coming out of Michigan? I think his name's Underwood, the quarterback that flipped his commitment from LSU. And I know either Chewy or Bergu, somebody had talked about that in the chat a while back about having the best quarterback, in the country as a recruit, but Michigan got in. But the talk was that Michigan offered $10 million, $10.5 million. And ultimately, the last was that the offer got up to $12 or $12.5 million. I'm like, folks, that is the amount of money it getting. I mean, we knew money is in college sports now. It's just with the coaching level and stuff, but now paying the players, it seems it's beyond just giving them something to live on now. And it's like, this is freaking like NFL stuff. And what does that do for the future of college football? When you got somebody from Barstool Sports getting with other boosters put together, and y'all can pull together $12 million for a quarterback that has never done anything in their life at a level other than high school. I just, oh my gosh. And then it's going to be basically your teams are stuck like that. I know, buddy, Stanford, you're probably condemned to a middle of the road pack team. After having grown up to love following the school like that. Me with the Gators, that's why I'm so into Napier has to go, because they need a coach that's got the tenor and temperament, not some curmudgeon on the sideline that's a hard ass about the way he wants to do things. The Tennessee people know it. They said the same things about him. That's the thing I like with Kiffin is he's got that edge, but the guy can't coach consistently in big games. You just gotta, because if you're not careful in these 16, 18 team leagues, you're going to be irrelevant, very quickly. If you don't have a coach that's going to push it, develop an offense and play more than 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And I don't know, just at least that's me. Score updates, though, before we talk about the Georgia game last night. Michigan, Ohio State still at 10. The second half has started. South Carolina now trails at Clemson 14-7. Clemson has just scored to take the lead. Illinois has expanded its lead to 28-10 with 14 points right out of the gate in the third quarter. Kentucky is on the board now, cuts the deficit to 20-7 against Louisville, and UConn is only a point down to UMass. Wake Forest has expanded its lead on Duke 17-3 in the third quarter. Baylor is dominating Kansas 35-10. So it looks like the Jayhawks will not make a bowl game this year. Valiant effort the last few weeks by knocking off some ranked teams and surprising some people, but too big of a hole to overcome. Of course, Texas Tech still over West Virginia 35-3. Yeah, it's a pro league, especially at the coaching levels. Yeah, I got it. And the thing is, Lane Kiffin's buyout, they said the other day, if he was terminated at the end of the regular season, was around $36 million, which I question because he never won anywhere. So why give a coach a buyout? But it gives to Napier's buyout, $26 million for a coach that's never coached major college football before. I don't get. At least Jimbo, even though it was $76 million, he won a national title in Florida. He had success at the bigger programs. I don't get why. But still, just crazy. So, Stanford players are too athletic for the positions. Linemen on both sides, except for two, are built like wide receivers. Yeah, you need massive mobility to be effective against top teams. Exactly, and that's what I think with the Oregon State Beavers. Well, what happened to the Pac-12, buddy? The Beavers will never be what they were before. There's no more Chad Ochocinco, Jonathan Smith. There's no runs for the national title or big playoff appearances for the Beavers because now being in the Mountain West, they will never get their type of recruits. You can see when they played the old Pac-10 teams this year, they got crushed. It's physical. It's what you can get, the physicality of the players at the divisions that you can. It's sad, All these athletes just do online classes now. It's a pro league. Yeah. And I tell you, sometimes they have to do the online classes because there's so much in terms of time commitments and everything else. My kid that actually did some teaching up there, feels sorry for those players because doesn't understand how they do it and do it legitimately with legitimate degrees, because they're just always on the move, always on the go, and never time to do the academic side of it. So let's see. All right. Like I said, I'm going to come back to last night's game. Let's see, the Georgia. Let's see, find this. Did you scroll down? Okay. Probably doing this the hard way, but of course, Florida State played tonight. Yay. I will probably cheer. I will go and be a good Florida fan and cheer for FSU, the Gators tonight, and actually enjoy and hoping they will win this game because at this point, might as well enjoy it and enjoy crushing your enemies when they're down because you never know when you'll get to do that again. In this game last night, 42-40, Georgia ends up pulling away in 8 overtimes, 44-42, which I did not realize, and I don't know if it was new for this year. And I apologize for being behind on the rules, but you don't see all overtime so much. But I'm sorry, I don't like these overtime rules in college. Fine with the Kansas tiebreaker thing, first, second overtimes. But I guess after the second overtime, it becomes one play, 2-point conversions. Why don't we just call them ties? If we're so into getting games over with, just call them a damn tie and be done with it. Because to me, one play at a 2-yard line is a BS way to end a major college game or a pro game. I am old school. I love the old NFL overtime in its way. I believe it all should be sudden death. You know what? You kick it off, guess what? You got to play defense. And if you don't, even if it's a 60-yard field goal, you lost. You don't get a guaranteed ball. But with this Kansas tiebreaker thing at the 25, fine. Okay, I'll adjust to it. But this now, it's not good enough. So now we're going to sit there and we're going to do one play each. And see, last night, 8 overtimes. It took 6 of those rounds of that. I don't know. I'm just an old fart. That's what it is. Well, Georgia Tech falls to 7-5. Georgia increases its record to 10-2, probably securing itself in a bowl game. Now the question is, well, not a bowl game, in a playoff spot. But the question is, do they become eligible for the SEC championship game or not? Lane Kiffin this week opened up Pandora's box with, well, nobody wants to. It could be to the detriment to make the championship game. So we'll see. Georgia Tech, Haynes King, dude, that guy is a very effective quarterback. I'd like to see what he can do with the NFL. He reminds me of Tebow in some ways. Better thrower, but I mean, still dominant runner. Ran for 110 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Also 26 of 36, 330 passing, 2 touchdowns. Carson Beck, see, the numbers are deceiving here. He obviously got better in the second half because Georgia Tech had a 17-0 lead at half. And Georgia has to score 21 in the fourth quarter to tie it. And then in 8 overtimes, 17-15 outscoring there. Let's kick over to the Gamecast. Take a look at that, how this. Yeah, let's see. Georgia Tech opens up with a 31-yard field goal, leads 3-0. Haynes King follows up in the second quarter with a 2-yard touchdown run, then throws a 4-yard touchdown pass to Jamal Hayes. 17-0. What the hell is this stuff, too? Georgia scores a touchdown early in the third quarter, pulls with a 17-6. They go for 2, a 2-point run conversion. Why? What point does why go for 2 when the best you could be is not still 2 scores down, 9 points? I'll tell you what, looking at it, it's like I told Gen X who popped on last night. Georgia kicks the extra point. I know things can change and they can happen in a game, but Georgia made no other 2-point conversions in that game. Now, maybe it would have forced Georgia Tech to take a 2-point conversion on the touchdown in the fourth quarter. I don't know. So things could change. But that extra point, take the 1 point, 17-7, theoretically could have meant Georgia took a 28-27 lead with 1:01 left in the game. Why not kick the damn extra point before the fourth quarter? This is one problem I hate with the 2-point conversion that went into the NFL, because our friend analytics, all these idiots with their analytics, will go for 2 because of anyway. That's a rampage I've had all you all have heard a lot about that. And so basically, we got back and forth of we had touchdowns on the first. Both teams scored touchdowns, extra points on the first touchdown. Then we had both teams scored a touchdown on the second possession, and both failed the 2-point conversions. And then it was the battle. This is like friggin' penalty kicks in world football. One of my biggest problems with soccer, world football, and I'll argue with my European and every friends around the world, is that it's one of the problems I have, is I think a lot of Americans, this damn penalty kick crap. I understand, like in the NHL, you have penalty shots, try to get a game over and things like that. I understand maybe in routine things, but when the championship's online, you got to have an unlimited overtime. But this one play thing is like the penalty kick thing. And to me, it ruins the joy of what college football is. And as Small Time Republic said, it exposed how cartoonish the college OT rules are. It makes no sense with this crap. But anyway, it was a fun game. It definitely was a fun game. Georgia had the ball for only 22 minutes. Georgia Tech had it for 37 minutes in this game. 563 yards on total offense, 405 yards for Georgia. But the Dogs win. They advance. Again, the competitor and the champion in you wants to say, we want to win that SEC championship. But what happens if Georgia gets the SEC championship, loses a third game? My guess is that they'll probably not be punished by the playoff committee for that. Why would you put emphasis on winning championships and then punish a team for losing in the championship game, even if it's third team? I mean, I think a 3-loss Georgia would definitely have better reasons than 3-loss Alabama. But as Small Time said, yeah, it'll be really annoying, irritable seeing Bama get in with a third loss. I mean, it's like, we've had enough Bama. It's like me. I've had enough Ohio hate. Just freaking leave Ohio State out of it. I really want somebody to beat the Ducks because I'm sick of the Ducks as a Beaver fan. But By the way, Louisville now has expanded their lead over Kentucky 27-7 in this game. I'm just going to take a quick look at the stat, then I'm going to flip it back to the Ohio State-Michigan game. Well, wow. All right, interesting. Cutter Boley is playing quarterback for Kentucky, and Gavin Wimsatt is in for Kentucky. It took them to a touchdown drive. Let me see something real quick. I'm curious to see if Brock Vandegrift is hurt or if they've just finally benched him. He's a guy that actually sat on, waited his time at Georgia, lost out to Carson Beck, and let's see. Well, Brock Vandegrift, 10 touchdowns on the year. He's a junior from Bogart, Georgia. Let's see. Yeah, I do not see any news on him today. Let's see if I can find something. Let's see, because I'm curious. You always hate these kids going these different places, and you want the best for them. You want them to have some success. So let's see. Let's see. I'm not sure if he. I'm not sure. I can't tell if he is out due to injury or if it's just. Let's see. Oh, he hopes to manage his own farm one day. So let's see. That's status. All right. Farts. There you go, Stunning. There you go. It's not boobs, so let's see. It looks okay. Let's see. I hit the wrong link. Let's see. Let's see here. Of course, now they've benched Boley. Cutter Boley replaced him at quarterback today, and so let's see. Cutter Boley will start. So basically, they benched Brock Vandegrift. So he was 3 of 7 last week, 51 yards, and threw one very bad interception to go along with his touchdown against Texas. So it looks like he's a healthy scratch. It looks like this was the all right. It looks like they moved on to next year. But then again, Brock Vandegrift, I think, has another season. Will he transfer again? You got, all the same. If they go to an 16-team playoff, the major conference title games must end. That's, small-time republic. Yeah, that's at that point. Because, at that point, I hate to say it, do we even need the conferences anymore? Why? I mean, because without the conference championships, what's the point of the conferences? And then it becomes everybody's for themselves, and everybody gets to be evaluated based on winning, the record, strength of schedule. I mean, we had conferences for reasons over the years, but I understand your point very well with that, because I think Lane Kiffin really brought it to a forefront today, or this week, with his questioning about why would is it beneficial to play in a championship game? Really, it's not. From a practical standpoint, competitive, yeah, because the identity was always in the conferences, but now it's now the focus is on the national championship more than it is anything with conference championships. And you also have to look at injuries. That's another thing, number of injuries. And plus, with 16 games, you've added more games to all teams. And it's one thing to have your championship game for that one more week. You have injuries, other things that could happen, and another side issue that goes with it is, why do we bother having the bowl games anymore? I mean, because that used to be the source of pride. Local, you get one more game, your conference and stuff, but now with everything put on the national championship game, you the bowl games don't mean anything anymore. I know that our local bowl game director was really big on that for years. He was kind of torn. He saw both sides. He saw the need for a better national championship system, but by having it done this way, where there's where all this emphasis is put on the championship game and the teams making it to that, the bowl games have become irrelevant. And the bowl games historically have been a matter of pride, social thing, social community importance. I know that the local bowl game has always given lots of money to charities. That was one of the biggest things that they did, was to donate money to different foundations. They help local schools setting up for the games. But now, if you don't have those bowl games, you got potentially some vacuums in the local communities. But as the customer of a bowl game, do you really want to go spend $75-$80 for a friggin' game of exhibition? Is what it is these days. I mean, it's one thing to pay $20 to $30. That's why I don't go to our local bowl game, because I don't. Maybe I might change my mind this year. There's some things working on, and I may see about trying to drag Aang off to a game, and I may pay what market price for it for one more year. But even if Florida came here, it's like they don't mean what they used to mean, because now there's so much pressure on winning your conference championship or winning the national title game. And the other part that happened, as we saw last year with that Georgia FSU situation, FSU was undefeated. They got mad because they were not in the playoff games, but they had 23 players out for the game against Georgia. 23. That's an inordinate number. Now, some of that was on them, because when they started making it known that they were going to get DJ from Oregon State, of course the quarterback quit on them. Why would he stay around for another game that didn't mean anything? You had like 13 players, 23 players total. 13 were sitting out preparing for the NFL draft, and then like the other 10 were in the transfer portal. I mean, maybe they have a way that they can't transfer till the bowl game's over or something. But having every team as an independent would be wild. I agree, and I don't like saying that. I mean, it probably isn't right the way to do. But what's the purpose of having the conferences if you don't have a true champion? Or you go back to the old ways of doing it. It's just the team with the best records, the conference champion, and do away with the game. But then again, we're talking money. Do you really see the SEC or some of these leagues willing to give up that extra game and all the money related to it? So, man, Nico just made a great scramble to pick up a first down. Had good pass protection. Yep. That's one of the things I've heard a lot of Tennessee fans complaining, that Nico does not run enough. But that was the case. He did really, really good. He's thrown for 207 yards against Vanderbilt today on 11-16 passing. I think Vanderbilt's a great story. They did. Oh man, Nico's running again like crazy. But Vanderbilt, give them credit. They got their 6 wins this year. Could have had more. But, good for them, of course, because probably next year they're going back into the toilet. They had an influx from New Mexico State with Diego Pavia and the coaching staff from there. which has allowed them to have a good season. Man, that Vanderbilt stadium looks completely different with that end zone expansion finished. Well, this could be the game here for Vanderbilt's going to force a third and short. Can they stop? Let's see. So, what games of interest does anybody out there have today, Buddy or Small Time? Obviously, Small Time. Your game's coming up in about an hour. Wow, how the day flies! And it's the last regular season week in the college football season. Fall start, Tennessee. Let me take a look in a second. Oh no, they called Vanderbilt for being offside, causing the Tennessee lineman to jump. Wow. Yep. His foot was across the line too. Dang. That sucked. Yeah, I guess too. As I think about Small Time Republic too, the benefit of the conference is it would aid in scheduling. Because it would be very wild if every team became a true independent. So, Notre Dame at USC, then we'll watch Survivor Series. Survivor Series, is that like Survivors, the TV show, or wrestling or something? But yeah, Notre Dame at USC. See, that's a game. That's another game that has had historical meaning to it, a lot of tradition and everything. And they gave Tennessee the first down on that one. Wow, that's interesting. But WWE, yeah, okay, all right, I got you. See, so you're not going to hang around for the Florida State game at night? Wow. Come on, that's going to be thrilling, Florida State. I tell you what, Billy Napier doesn't put up 40, 50 points on friggin' FSU this year, then I will still say that he's not the right guy for the job, because that FSU team is so bad this year, especially on offense. And I've got Seminole fans, Seminole family members, so it's buddy, that was true. Vanderbilt has been going up. It's that Vanderbilt had a 17-7 lead when they threw that pick that was tipped up in the end zone, and the Tennessee guy made a bizarre catch to pick the pass off. That game has turned since that point. And but I think that's one of the great things with college football. It seems that's what we have a lot of times. It's just special moments like that. How a game goes one way, then all of a sudden it just flips on a dime. It's that was that's a very true point there. And usually that happens a lot. One little play, what seemingly little play, can turn the whole game around. We got Ohio State now with the 2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line. So, wow. That was a weird play. Ohio State rolled to the right, threw back to the left with a tight end coming across the middle. Threw it back across to the other side of the field, but it really didn't go anywhere. Nice defense. So we'll see if this is going to be another field goal for Ohio State with a 3rd and 10. So it looks like it's cold up in Michigan. Oh, that's in Ohio, but all that area though. Oh man, Ryan Day has lost his marbles. 3rd and 10 there. They call a draw. And it was an obvious draw. It looks so obvious from here, It just, he didn't throw it this time. It's, so like you said earlier, yeah, he's going to lose his mind if they lose this game today. Michigan may not have much offense, but they can still play defense. All right, Ohio State line up for the 34-yard field goal attempt. Let's see if they get this one. Missed an earlier field goal. He pulled it. Wow. Wow. He pulled that one left. Wow. We are still tied at 10 in the Michigan game. Wow. It's like, geez. I'm just shaking my head at that, folks. It's, oh my goodness. These rivalry games, a lot comes down to them. They're, everything happens. You can throw the record books out most years. It comes down to, executing on the field. It really does. So many times with Florida, Georgia, it's been like the better team does not win. Of course, if you ever had a chance to listen to watch a game with coach under Vince Dooley, he always made the Gators stand out to be like one of the best teams in the world. They were inferior. Georgia was inferior and all, and it's like BS, and then they just go out and dispatch Florida easy. Hello, Brogu. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, the Ohio State-Michigan game was a mess. Yeah, it's still a mess. I mean, Ohio State can move the ball down the field, but they can't score, can't get touchdowns. And now 2 missed field goals. Hey, by the way, college football is baseball now. We can tell JT Kirk. Eastern Michigan now leads Western Michigan 2-0. They just had a 2-run single. Wow. Some really weird scores. Baylor is crushing Kansas. I'm not going to stay there on that one. Louisiana Monroe are playing. Let's see what's up. They're having a review. So let's move on. South Carolina at Clemson. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, you prefer baseball. I know. You play it too, so I know it's closer for you. Closer to. And Vanderbilt now is down 14, 31-17 against Tennessee. So the train wreck is officially on. Vanderbilt now is not really a Cinderella anymore. They fell apart. They played some competitive games, but they're gonna. It's a great year for them to be happy, but I like I said, with Diego Pavia as only 1 year. They're doomed to repeat. Now we'll see if Clark Lee really is worthy of being an SEC coach. What will he do next year to try to advance and expand the program for at Vanderbilt? I mean, you have 1 year here and there is one thing, but eventually you do have to have some consistent success to keep your job. So, all right. So I'm going to leave on South Carolina, Clemson for a second. They're at a break. 8:43 left. Tennessee has now a 31-17 lead over Vanderbilt. Wow, Nico is thrown for 4 touchdowns. 1 pick, but 4 touchdowns. No. Let's take a look. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to look at. You feel going back to Kentucky quarterback situation. You feel for a kid like Brock Vandagriff, has to sit on the bench for a couple years, then transfers, gets made the starter, and then it just does not go right. And how much really is him, and how much really is it the offensive coaches, the scheme, and everything else? But speaking of that, Louisville now leads Kentucky 34-7. That's the part that you can't control is when your defense can't play. And that's been a big problem with Vanderbilt, Kentucky this year. Is the defense had injuries and was not as dominant as it has been in recent years. I will say, it's easy for a Florida fan to get happy with what Billy Napier's done this year. Yeah, they're going to go to a bowl. Yeah, they should hit 7 wins this year. They should win that game tonight. Oh, no, they are at 7 wins. They should have 8 wins tonight, which I don't think anybody saw Florida having 8 wins this year. I mean, there's got to be a fair, objective manner. But I try to look in behind the numbers and things like that. They put up 47 points on a Kentucky team that was decimated on defense and differences. They beat a Ole Miss team that's not as good as everybody thought they were, and who has a really an odd coach. LSU is a mess on defense, especially. And Brogu, hey, I'm sorry. I hope I said hi to you, Brogu. Speaking of LSU, no disrespect to LSU. I think it's a definitely good program. I like Nussmeier as the quarterback, but he turns the ball over too much. They struggle on offense, or then they do have production, but then the defense struggles. So that's why this year between take Florida's win over Kentucky, Ole Miss, LSU. So from 7-4, they would easily be 4-7. I saw many blemishes with the teams that they were playing. The teams that they were playing did not turn out as good as they were forecast to be this year. And that's why I'm kind of more skeptical. I still don't trust Napier. I don't trust him. The Tennessee game, all the turnovers are players' fault, but pre-snap penalties constantly. Him sending the 12th player, sending the player on the field himself, causing the penalty that negated a field goal. The constant clock mismanagement, constant horrible substituting way too late in a play. I have my issues. I will still stick with it. But like I said, I can't deny that there's some success right now. But I think this is why I've always said you fire somebody when you have the chance. Maybe it's too reactionary. We can all agree to disagree or, different philosophies. But I just don't – I think they had their shot. I think the true Florida team is the team we saw at the beginning of the year that got decimated at home by Miami and Texas A&M. That's the true Florida team when you stick them up on a national level. Maybe not as bad as when they went to Texas because they were playing with an Ivy League quarterback, but I do not think that Gator fans should get a lot of hope out of how the season's going in recent weeks because I think next year we're going to be back to where we were before this. Yeah, Brogu just turned in the Michigan, Ohio State still tied 10-10, fourth quarter starting right now. Yeah, I'm kind of watching this game. That's kind of why I decided to go live today and kind of maybe have some company watching some football and talk about games as they're going. And if people want to either talk about the games that are going or their own teams, we could do that. So right now I'm over on the Clemson, South Carolina game. It's entered the fourth quarter, and South Carolina has the ball nearing midfield. Oh, it's definitely a knock 'em snodder slobber game. So, Michigan has the ball at their own 33. Yeah, which is a shame about this Vanderbilt Tennessee game. I really had hoped Vanderbilt would at least show up well in this game. I'm going to go back to some stats since we've got between games right now. The Georgia survives Georgia Tech 44-42, 8 overtimes last night. Boise State beats Oregon State 34-18. In the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss beats Mississippi State 26-14. Mississippi State had a lead early in this game, I think it was 14-10, and then Ole Miss scored 16 points to win. Let's see. Colorado blanks Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy is will Mike Gundy have a coaching job much longer? I mean, amazing how I think they were in the Big 12 championship game last year, but then fall off to the bottom of the Big 12 this year. Minnesota beats Wisconsin 24-7. Navy beats East Carolina 34-20. Iowa, whoa, hey, the cure for your sleepless nights. Iowa beats Nebraska 13-10. Utah beats UCF 28-14. And Stanford, oh, buddy, loses to San Jose State 34-31 in that game on the West Coast. So, Again, looks like Stanford, just fell a little short in that game. Um, Actually, did taking a lead, scored 14 unanswered to go up 31-27. Then with under 2 minutes to play, Stanford gives up an 18-yard touchdown pass to lose. I'm wondering if that was a turnover related play, buddy, because the scoring drive on that one for San Jose State was 3 plays, 37 yards, and 44 seconds. So that sounds like either a very, very bad punt or a turnover at the 37-yard line. Yeah, that sucked. I bet it did, buddy. I mean, that was a game that looked like they could have won or had won in there. So Berger says LSU could be a great program, have talent, but the quarterback does turn the ball over. If we change that, they would be a well-respected team. They would have a chance every game. But they got to do something on defense. Florida, the only reason Florida didn't score more points on LSU was that they didn't have the ball long enough because they couldn't get off the field. And that's been a key problem with LSU too, is giving up too many points in a lot of games. So, yeah, buddy, you had friends and family, San Jose State University alums celebrating. I'm sorry, buddy. I am sorry. I think I'll keep it on the South Carolina Clemson game for a little bit because it's still 14-7. We'll take a look at that because unless Vanderbilt can get some offense going, I think Rocky Top is on its way to winning this game. Looks like South Carolina just got called for personal foul while it was trying to drop. It's still down 7. All right. By the way, I guess there's a live Fortnite event that's going on, or it's probably over by now. So that's where the misses and some of them are. Let's see where the ball is. So South Carolina will have a 2nd and 22 at the Clemson 26-yard line. Oh man, that put them back. Stupid personal foul penalty. Oh, man. Lenore Sellers just got picked off inside the 10. Wow. That's horrible. Hey, Comic Relief Crusader. It's okay. I know you tried. Hey, we had a great time. Go back and try to watch some of the stream. It was a 4-hour that was a 4-hour extravaganza that went just everywhere. It was great to meet Wes Cagle for the first time. But, there will be other weeks, Comic Relief Crusader. Yeah, that's 2 games. Was ahead and should have held, beat both Cal and San Jose State. Exactly. It sucks to lose games like that. I've always said sometimes it's better to just get blown out and get destroyed than it is to have those games where you're ahead the whole time and then you just lose it at the end. Let's see. Let me flip back to Michigan and Wisconsin. I'm going to see what other scores. I'm going to see if there's any scores that we need to look in the box. Let's take a look at the box scores, the stats. Let's see. Let me take real quick. Let me look at. So Tennessee has the ball back. So Vanderbilt is doing nothing now on offense. Diego Pavia is 5 of 14 for 35 yards. What a horrible way to end your career, your 1-year career there. It's like they're definitely not playing like they had. And the Tennessee defense has got on track and is carrying this team. And then Nico gets hot with 4 touchdown passes. Nico's 12 of 17, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Dylan Sampson, almost 9 yards a carry, 10 carries at 84 yards. Tennessee overall has run for 149 yards, including Nico for 36 yards. He's had some nice runs to extend drives. Dante Thornton has caught 3 passes, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns on 3 catches. I wonder if Squirrel White is out this game. Wow. They finally got past another receiver for Vanderbilt. This is dominance. This is sad. But I think also it shows you may statistically run okay, but you've got to be able to throw in this league to win. Dylan Sampson lost another fumble again. That's a area of concern that they've been having. He'd gone like so long without fumbling, but now recently he's been turning the ball over quite a lot. So about 11 minutes left in the Ohio State Michigan game. So I want to take a look. We'll take a look at that game for now. But yeah, so Buddy says the coaching being called out for both losses. I tell you, the coaching is coaching. I will say it is a hard job, and sometimes it depends on how the breaks go. But I think sometimes some of these coaches end up getting too cute. Not everybody can be Les Miles and go for every friggin' fourth down in the world and get lucky. Napier had that 1 year against Tennessee his first year, but eventually other games that caught up to him. Well, that's interesting. This Davis Warren kid from Michigan, he's a senior, so it's his last game. It's kind of cool to see if he can do something good in this game. He just ran for a first down against Ohio State. But I like you said earlier about Ryan Day, what's he going to be like if they lose this game? I said that I heard one of the guys on the ABC, because this is a Fox game. You can see him. If you're watching this game on Fox, really look at his Ryan Day's body expressions and stuff. Oh my gosh! Oh, and they get a pass interference at the. God, oh man. Let's go Wolverines. Hey, Connie Cleary, been late. Sorry I'm late. Been busy at the pet shop. Help with the girls. With the other birds. Oh, that's okay, Connie Cleary. You work with a pet shop. Oh, that is awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, we're just coming back and taking a look at the games that are on today. Kind of like what we've been doing some nights, with our Saturday football shows in the evening, talking about scores. But we got some really, really big games today. We got Ohio State, Michigan. And for you Big Ten fans, Penn State has let's see, and plays later. I believe I've got to check the schedule again. We'll check it in just a moment. Yeah, Michigan, just keep running the football. You don't even don't you worry about your starter throwing a pick or something. But it's just really amazing. Is Ohio State this bad? What is wrong with Ohio State? What is wrong with Georgia? Those are two teams, and even Texas. All three teams have been put on pedestals in recent years as almost unstoppable dominant teams. But all three are showing a lot of vulnerability this year. It's kind of amazing to see. So let's see. I guess it's kind of like, so folks, if you have it on your Fox network, you could be watching the game as I am. It's kind of like a watch party, I guess, in a way. 3:30 for Penn State today. Yes. I was just trying to make sure I forgot who they played, though. Let's see. Maryland. Oh, right. Maryland, and they're on the Big Ten network. I don't have the Big Ten network, unfortunately. I've got most of everything else, but not them and not CBS Sports Network or FS1. So Michigan has a 3rd and 1 at the 4-yard line. And, oh, man. I tell you what, I don't know. Folks, let's have a football debate. Tell me what you think. I hate the jumbo formation. I hate when – don't get me wrong. There are times it's like, okay, but I hate the way it's overused these days. I hate this obsession of we got a yard to go. We're going to bring everybody in tight, max thing, and just run into the middle of the line. I hate that. I am more of a let's spread them out and take the defenders outside the box type of strategy. That's who I think. Maryland, yes, the Terrapins. the Terrapins. Yeah, it should be a good game for you guys to watch today. And hopefully, let's see. Yeah, and hey, depending on it, if you can make you're scheduled to get a good seed in the playoffs, possibly even host a playoff game next week or in 2 weeks, whenever it starts. Hey, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, Michigan calls timeout, so now they are at break. But yeah, what do you think about the jumbo package? We saw, their gimmicks. Pegues, a big old heavy defensive lineman for Ole Miss, was kind of like the refrigerator Perry gimmick. Was doing a lot of good stuff, but then against Gators last week, he got shut down repeatedly. It didn't do nearly what it had done before, and I just jumbo formations. Just to me, sometimes it's overused. Sometimes spread them out. It depends on also your tendencies and what they expect you to do. Because see, Florida was able to snuff out the big guy trying to run the ball when he was in there like that. You knew he was getting the ball every time. These jumbo packages, it's like you're bringing all the defenders in, and sometimes I think if you can spread out the defense, you might have a chance of hitting a hole better, even if you sneak or whatever you do. Of course, now I'm sitting here thinking about what if Florida had Lagway against Georgia. That could have been a win easily there. But again, that was a game Napier didn't let. If he'd let the kid throw down the field, he had success. But that in Tennessee, then Florida would be actually at 9 wins now. Could you imagine that? Like, oh my goodness, 9-2. That would have been a whole different season. But well, we got a 4th and 1 coming back in this Big Ten Classic. That's what's always been great about Thanksgiving Day football games. It's kind of like New Year's Day used to be. Big games, big matchups. New Year's Day was always Big Ten, Pac-10 in the Rose Bowl. Oh, no, Michigan did get the first down. My apologies. But they did call a timeout. Hey, something happened. Nobody charged a timeout? That was odd. Well, anyway, Michigan has the ball first and goal at the 3. Oh, my gosh. Oh, duh. Oh, the refs caught. Yeah, because I've got our mute so the sound doesn't get caught. What did I say about not having a quarterback? And I feel sorry for that kid. He's a senior, his last game, doing everything else like that. And just did not throw it over the defender high enough. That was a hell of an interception by Ohio State. Wow. Just, oh, man. Sometimes that's why you don't listen. Okay, fine. Put the jumbo package in there. There are times it's all situational. This is a case where you don't have a great quarterback in terms of throwing. Your backup quarterback cannot throw at all either. And sometimes you do stick with the run. I just think that sometimes you don't have to bring everybody in tight. You just keep them spread out. Oh, great. There's a new Steve Spurrier Heisman House ad with Albert Alligator. Oh, gosh. Tebow. Oh, man. Well, when are they going to put Danny Werfel in one of these commercials? Dumb soft lob when you had 2 players in the end zone. Buddy, I know that's where you see that's a play that got too cute. What is one of the fundamental rules? Do not throw across your body across the field. Well, he may have stopped, but he was throwing across the field, had to throw over the defender, and he left it short. But I also think there were other defenders that could have helped break it up if he'd have thrown it higher. But okay, counterpoint to my jumbo formation complaints. You have that. You're on the 3-yard line, and you got to do some weird rollout run pass play instead of just staying straight onto it. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, it's like nobody wants to win this game. I think Ryan, but it's so funny when Small Town Republic said that earlier about Ryan Day, and hearing somebody on the Vanderbilt game actually talking about that, about what will Ryan Day be like if he loses this game. But it's well. So, all right, South Carolina still has the ball, it looks like, at the 19-yard line, 4th and 4 against Clemson. Dude, why not kick the field goal? I mean, 4th and 4, there's 7 minutes left in the game. They just got called for a delay of game. Wow. No. Wow. Bad clock management, bad situational awareness by the quarterback. That they ran out of time. It's 4th and 9. But still, 6:54 left in the game. Old school days, you kick a field goal. You get field goal, you're down 4, play defense. Why would you go for 4th and 4? Now they're going to kick the field goal. I don't understand. 4th and 4, 4th and 9. Why not take the points? Try to get the points, because then a touchdown wins instead of tying. So we'll see. And drills it right down the middle. We got a 14-10 ball game here, folks. This is another game that has significant effects. Like Small Time mentioned earlier, like South Carolina beats Clemson. Could open the door for Alabama. Fallout Dave, hey, dude, how are you? How are you tonight? I will probably be here live watching the Florida game tonight with everybody, talking school board action and stuff like that. Unless the missus decides she wants to watch football with me. But hey, good to see you, Dave. Had a little bit of Fortnite action earlier. And let me see. I'm going to let's see. Let me get this back. I'm not going to worry about Vanderbilt for now. That game seems to be over, or at least in a spot that's hard to see. Let me get back to the Ohio Hate game. Oh my gosh, folks, that was like, what a way for Michigan. It looks like, Ohio State got the ball. Just moved it a little bit. Missed tackles. But looks like we got a 3rd and 1 coming up. No, it's 4th down. Sorry, I just got her just a yard short. Well, they're going to punt. Ugh. Yep. Okay, so Michigan takes over at their own 40. All right, back from Publix and the Dollar Tree. Yes, I think we're headed to the Dollar Tree a little bit later, so we can get a few decorations for our tree. Our little $5 tree we got from Five Below. It's going on the coffee table. Let's see. Let's see if I ever got ABC to work here. It's scratchy. So it's, oh man, I've hated the move to digital, like I talked about earlier, but I'll try not to go over that too much again. So let's see if there's a game on. Let's see if there's a game on the CW now. Yeah, Pitt. Looks like Pitt coming up. CU's going to be covering Pitt and Boston College in a little bit. So Kai Robichaux for Boston College. Of course, Thomas Castanedos, their starting quarterback, who also helped another upset of Florida State this year, is left the program. So, or leaving the transfer, going into the transfer portal. So, lots of changes. We'll see how that goes. It was crazy this year setting up and figuring out half the players that have moved across country. Kenshon Judkins. I tell you what, Kenshon Judkins, did he really benefit from going to Ohio State? I think he's a player that may not have done well because he had some great numbers. He was the main player at Ole Miss, but he left for Ohio State. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Let's see what 3:30 games we got coming up. Let's see. Maryland at Penn State at 3:30. Big Ten Network. Notre Dame at USC on CBS. That's weird that that's on the CBS and not NBC. Miami at Syracuse. Cal at SMU. Auburn at Alabama. And Arizona State at Arizona. Arkansas, Missouri. Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, West Cagle at Michigan State for James T. Kirk at 3:30 on FS1. And, I guess there are two different games on the Big Ten Network. I wonder if they go east and west because we have on the Big Ten Network also Fresno State at UCLA, or UCLA. If you were with us last night, we talked about UCLA quite a bit, including the one in Australia. NC State at North Carolina, more rivalry games. Central Michigan at Illinois, Northern Illinois, UAB at Charlotte, and then the last 3 o'clock game, Florida Atlantic at Tulsa. Then a lot of other minor games. Just a couple of minor games. UTEP, New Mexico State, Kansas State, Louisiana Tech, Jacksonville State, Western Kentucky at 4 o'clock. The next round of games will be at 6 o'clock. And then we move into the evening hours. Florida FSU at 7 on ESPN2. Oklahoma LSU on ESPN at 7. Washington Oregon at 7:30 on NBC. Texas A&M at 7:30 on ABC. And Kansas State Iowa State at 7:30 on Fox. So and then just a few games remaining after that late night. Virginia Tech will be one of the later games. Interesting. All right, so there we go with that. All right, let me shift back around now. This is one part of having a rolling chair, but you know what? I got a great, wonderful, nice, I don't know what kind of chair, embroidered chair from Mom's, so that I have here. Much better for posture than what I was sitting on. Well, we got Michigan. We got another first. Now, see, this is where they do have to throw the football now to try to get some first downs, at least get in the field goal position. But the event was fun. Oh, cool. Oh, Brogu's back. Had a visitor at the door. Okay, cool, Brogu. You guys get Oklahoma coming to town tonight. That's kind of a cool thing. That's a new matchup. On paper, it's good to be able to play a historical program like Oklahoma. So how was you said the event was fun. Have they shut Fortnite down now, or have they said they're doing an encore at 7:20? Okay. So I guess Fortnite is up and running still then. Have they said when they're going to shut down to do the update? Okay, still up. Are they going to shut the game down at some point to start the new season?
Probably at 2 a.m.
Probably at 2 a.m. Okay. That would make sense. Yeah, Fallout Dave. Well, Vandy was up 17-7. Actually, oh my God! Oh wow, busted. I remember that there are timing delays. And I'm trying to not jump the gun for you guys watching the game. Wow, tackling. But yeah, it's Yeah, it started off Vanderbilt had a 100-yard touchdown return on the opening kickoff, Dave, and took an early lead, was up 17-7, and then Tennessee is stormed back. Drew Warren for Michigan, 9-16, 62 yards, 2 picks. Dude, yeah, they're not going to let him throw now. Which I think, well, you never know. I've seen too many times when Michigan, when Ohio State gives up a field goal here, then they move right down and get a touchdown. But what does this do? Does a two-loss Ohio State get into the playoffs? My guess probably, but or very likely still. But will be interesting. And then do they get in ahead of Penn State, or does Penn State stay ahead of them, even though Ohio State won head-to-head? But then Penn State finishes with 1 loss. See, these are the questions that people thought were going to go away with the new expanded playoffs, but it's still here. We still have the same debates and questions. Oh, all right. So let me flip while there's a commercial. I'll head back over to Sling and see what's going on with them. See what the South Carolina Clemson game in it. Let's see. I don't know. I don't get some of these arm chants that people. I don't get. I don't get the arm chants and stuff. Oh wow, South Carolina's got the ball back. You're midfield on a 3rd and 4. Lenore Sellers, you got to do something. Run then. I tell you what. I'll be honest. I like Lenore Sellers at South Carolina. I like his ability to manage a game, to throw, and to like this play, his scramble ability, and he fought through it. He stayed up and knocked over a few players, got another 10 or 15 yards for South Carolina. Hey, folks, we could have some big drama nationally with some of these results if a few things break the right way. I mean, you get if you're pretty much 4 down territory here for South Carolina. They're nearing the 15 to 20 yard line against Clemson. They're down 4. They're going to have to. It's 4 downs. You don't have time for multiple field goals, but we shall see what happens with it. I will tell you, Frank. Give Shane Beamer credit. This is a team I did not expect to turn around like they've done. They're damn good at South Carolina. They run the ball well, and this kid Lenore Sellers has become a great passer. It could be a boring team to watch, but it also could be fun. Against LSU earlier this year, they dominated early in the game, and Lenore Sellers got injured, left the game. It was a different second half, and LSU was able to come back and win. So it's interesting. Then you had the debate about Dabo. Is he making a mistake not going in the NIL and the transfer portals, trying to do everything old school? So now I am torn between, we've got the Michigan-Ohio State game and we got South Carolina-Clemson. Both of these games have national impacts for the playoffs, if not for making it, or at least for seeding purposes. Okay, so South Carolina's going to pick up the first down. We'll just get back to and they'll go down to or close to the 2-minute warning. Let me flip back to Ohio State again. Oh, and Arizona State comes up next on Fox. Let's see. It's like Ohio State's calling timeout. 3rd down. We'll be having a 3rd down. Oh boy. Low scoring game, but you know what? It's It's good. I guess it's pretty cold up in Michigan. It's probably in the 30s or something. I don't know what, but all I know was last January it was cold as anything up in North Georgia, especially near a waterfall. And boy, that was colder. I learned a lesson that day. Hey, we got 8 people here on the Twitch, the YouTube side. Hey, make sure you hit that like, share it out, subscribe. We're trying to get over the 666 number. We had some great streams lately. My watch hours are actually going back up, so I guess I'm streaming more again. LOL. All right, well, let's go. We got a 3rd and 2 for Michigan. Wait. Oh no, don't. There's a flag, I think, on the play, or something happened. Uh-oh. Or the timeout. Wait. Didn't they? Wait. Didn't. Let me. 12 on defense. 5-yard penalty. Going late. 3rd down. So I believe probably what happened. Ohio State's not allowed to take 2 timeouts. I think they changed the rules where you can't take back-to-back timeouts without the clock run. So they got called 12 men on the field. So, wow. So it would be a half the distance goal, man. I tell you what. Wow, that sounds like a Napier. Or 1st and goal. Yeah, 1st and goal. Michigan doesn't even have to throw it. They can just run it and kick a field goal if they wanted to. But why do that? So, wow. I talk about being hard on Billy Napier for stuff like that. Interesting. Well, you could always do the thing like some people do, is just flop down on the ground, let Ohio State score a touchdown and get the ball back, or let Michigan score a touchdown so you get the ball back and try to score. Actually, I think yesterday was the anniversary of the Florida Flop. The Florida Flop happened in 1971 when the Gators were blowing out the Miami Hurricanes at the Orange Bowl, and John Reeves was the quarterback, and he was close to setting the a passing record, an NCAA passing record. So they literally flopped on the ground. All 11 players flopped on the ground while the Miami quarterback went and scored a touchdown so that they could get the ball back so John Reeves could throw a few more passes and set a record. It was not taken well by Miami, even though they were trying to set a record for somebody. The head coach at the time was quoted as saying is that the University of Miami will win a national title before the Gators ever win an SEC title. And that held true. The Miami Hurricanes won the title under Howard Schnellenberger, probably I think 81 or so, 81. And Florida never won an SEC title to 84, but then that was actually won, but then stripped because of recruiting violations. So, which was BS back then. It truly was, folks. But hey, go figure. So that's your little bit of Gator trivia today. Golly, dude, you gotta. They're showing replay of that pass. You got to throw it high and away. But that was a hell of an interception by the Ohio State linebacker. All right, this torn between these 2 games right now, folks. We got 3rd and goal with the Michigan and Ohio State team. So, see, folks, I'm not all SEC. I will also talk outside the conference. I love my West Coast football. If we still had a true Pac-12, I missed the Pac-12. But let's see what happens here with Michigan on this play. Will they let Drew Warren throw? I don't think so. I think you should have the option to throw because you got to keep your playbook open. But it's all right. So All right. Well, here we go. We're going to play for a field goal. Michigan gets to run it down to under a minute, and they will set up for a field goal. Let me flip back to South Carolina real quick because we know what's going to happen there for the moment. And we'll take a look what we got here. South Carolina. This game. Oh, man. Let's see. This is what's hard. 3rd and 11 for South Carolina. So it's a long down the distance. Oh, crap. You ever hate between two games that are nearing the end right at the same time? Well, that's what's happening. The old days, I'd have had several TVs. Actually, well, problem is I have to use my phone, and I'm using the phone as my chat. I think I fell out, Dave. I can hold a grudge against Ohio State. Go Michigan. Ha! There you go. There you go. That's good, Dave. So I want to do this. I can check the chat there. I'm going to flip it over on my phone on the ESPN app. I want to see if... Oh, gosh. Someplace has a family scoreboard. I think it's you. Yeah, UMass, their home field, they have a family scoreboard. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so Tennessee is leading Vanderbilt 36-17. That game is pretty much over. Ohio State's letting the clock run down now. God, my ESPN app is like being stupid. Hopefully, I just put the right password in. Hey, I did. What a miracle. Yeah. All right. So 48 seconds left in this game. Michigan will be coming out, lining up a field goal. And South Carolina, touchdown, score. Wow. Lenore Sellers, I told you guys, it's at a 3rd and 11. This kid has not only been a runner, and he ran it in this time, but this kid, I tell you what, forget your Arch Mannings, forget your big name quarterbacks, even Lagway at Florida. This kid is really good at South Carolina, and the fact that this year he's learned how to throw the football really well, he's truly very, very dangerous quarterbacks. All right, so South Carolina takes a 16-14 lead. Michigan lines up for the go-ahead field goal now. And there's good. And just so, folks, remember the 2 missed field goals by Ohio State. Remember that. So let's take a look at the game. Let me turn the chair around. Let's take a look. If Connie Cleary is still here, too, let's take a look. I want to look at real quick in the Big 10 standings. Let me see. I'm curious. Oh, shoot. I did the wrong tab I wanted to see that on. Let's go to standings to the... Oh, definitely not a great game for Michigan offensively, but then again, it's like this... So, let's see. So I'm guessing. I'm guessing we gotta see how SMU does in the SEC tonight. Hopefully for them they don't lose, because then you'd have 3 1-loss ACC teams potentially. Big 10, Ohio State. Wow, yeah, folks. This would be a second loss in the conference. That would mean it'd be Oregon against either Indiana or probably Penn State. Okay, Connie Cleary, you may have the Nittany Lions in the Big Ten championship game. We'll have to see how this works out. Have to look at the possibilities how that goes. But yeah, wow. So all right, so Clemson will be taking possession of the ball with a minute left in the game. Duke has marched back. They had it tied at 17 and then now take the lead on a touchdown pass. They lead 23-17. Actually, that game went final. The Dukies survived the scare at Wake Forest. So in about 13 minutes, the University of Miami at Syracuse will be the next game. Woohoo! Exactly, Connie. You Michigan only about 45 seconds away. After this game goes final, I'll take a look and see what happens. See if I can find what happens in this case. Because, Indiana was going to beat Purdue. So a matter of just Penn State doing its job and beating Maryland today. Oregon is not likely to lose against Washington at home. So we'll come down to, I guess, the Big 12 tiebreakers. Wow. Clemson's already – what? I missed the kickoff. I wonder if they did a stupid squib because Clemson is already inside South Carolina territory. No. Wow. Really an unimpressive game by Ohio State offensively. I know Michigan's had good defense, but is it really that good? All right. Our friend Small Town Republic, I know, is getting ready for the Iron Bowl now, but they There's some, let's see. So 27 seconds left. Clemson is driving on South Carolina, 2nd and 4. Looks like Michigan called a timeout there with 35 seconds on the 3rd and 9. Gives them a chance to reset. All right. All right. So. Let's see. Go here. Let's see. All right. So Clemson's getting close to position. Actually, Clemson's within field goal range. I hate prevent defenses and squib kicks also. So Clemson's got a 2nd and 4, about 26 seconds left. Incomplete. We are about to have wow. We're about to have a 4th and 9 here with Ohio State. Oh my. So we shall see what shall happen. Okay. I'm looking at the Big Ten championship scenarios that were. It does explain how Penn State can reach it. So let's watch this 4th. And wow. I know JT Kirk's happy. Michigan, in spite of a very tough season, very average, below average offense, will leave with a victory. I'm sure the flag is probably unsportsmanlike conduct or something. Wow. Yep. Yeah, at that point, you can take your unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and run with it. It's okay. Damn, yeah. There you go, Connie. That is nothing but good news for you, Penn State. All right. So one more knee for Michigan. Well, let's see. Wait a second. What's happening? Yeah. Yep. It looks like they did it. That's the one thing with no sound you can't quite tell. And oh my, let's see. Folks, this is a damn that what an ending game, what an ending to the Ohio State Michigan game. Clemson driving for either a go-ahead touchdown or a field goal. K. Klubnik throws a bad pass off his receiver. It is intercepted by South Carolina. South Carolina will beat Clemson. So that may not affect. Okay, if Michigan wins, the clock is running out. South Carolina just has to take a knee. Wow. 1K, 2 defensive stands to end. Wow. Now, the thing is Clemson is probably more devastating for Clemson's playoff hopes than Ohio State. So I'm sure Ohio State will make it in, but I think the Clemson probably had to win the SEC, the ACC, go with where they were, or they win the conference title, but I don't think they're going to be able to play for the conference title. Playoff, I'm looking at scenarios for playoff for the Big Ten. So, Connie, damn. Nice. SEC better than ACC. Hey, AFK Bard. Happy Thanksgiving to you and go football. Hey, you're a great footballer yourself. You were on this stream with me last year. That was a fun time. Love to see you again. And look us up for some Fortnite one day. We miss seeing you. All right, even if you can't do it, hope to see you in some of mine or the Mrs. streams, you know. It's always great to see you. Great person. Love to have you around. We do miss you, though, AFK. I hope happy Thanksgiving to you, and I hope everything's going well with you and your family as well. All right. So what we do know is that number 1 Oregon qualified for the Big Ten championship in its first year. Who they will play remains to be open. Because Oregon beat Ohio State 32-31 on October 12th, so the schools are headed toward they were headed towards a rematch until this. AFK would love to have you. I know, and life gets it, but I tell you what, you're such a great person and cool person and a great friend, and you know, it's just that your presence is missed. You know, just know that. So who else has a chance? Other than Ohio State, till then, number 4 Penn State, number 10 Indiana had a path, but they may know the fate. Basically, I think if Ohio State won, it would have been decided. But now, let's see. Okay, Oregon clinched the spot. Ohio State. Now we know that they lost. Oh, back to you, AFK. Seriously, yeah, absolutely. It's always great to see you. Ohio State would clinch the spot with a victory against Michigan. That's out. Yes, I know. And South Carolina upset Clemson too. Pull apart now. Yes, they do. So Ohio State. So now, okay, there's a scenario about if ever there's a 4-way tie. The Buckeyes would have gotten a number 1 seed because they had the highest cumulative conference winning percentage. Okay, so what that meant was if Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, and Indiana, if they all won, Ohio State would have gone because they had the best winning conference winning percentage. But here's what happens. Connie, get ready to pop the cork on some champagne tonight or whatever. For Ohio State loses to Michigan, they have to have Penn State lose to Maryland and Indiana lose to Purdue. So guess what? Goodbye, Ohio State. Yes, they will not. Even if somehow Maryland beats Penn State, Purdue will not beat Indiana. But Connie, for you, Penn State. And you know what? I'm taking Penn State. I want Penn State to beat the shit out of Oregon because I hate friggin' Oregon. I love the Beavers, and they left my Beavers in a dump conference. Piss on Oregon. Sorry. It's like, I love Ohio State losing, but I want Penn State to make the championship so somebody credible can beat friggin' Oregon, because I don't think Indiana stands a chance. I think we saw the real Indiana when they played Ohio State. They're not capable of playing with a team with Oregon, but Penn State can. All right, so let's look at Penn State. Penn State needs to beat. Okay, no. Let's see. We go. Okay, Penn State. Well, see, we got to see how that happens. So, okay, Penn State needs to beat Maryland. Michigan beat Ohio State. Okay, so Michigan beat Ohio State. I love this stuff. This is when it gets fun. Okay, Penn State needs to beat Maryland. Okay, so they've already beaten Michigan beat Ohio State. Nittany Lions would then be in the championship game because Penn State has a higher cumulative conference winning percentage than Indiana. That would be the difference maker. And I think that's not their record, because they would both have one loss in the conference. It's the team that they played and their records overall. So that basically it's a strength of schedule thing. If I understanding this, interpreting it right, that Penn State played tougher teams because their opponents had a better winning percentage than Indiana's, then Penn State would go. The Ducks and Nittany Lions have a close cumulative winning percentage. So if Ohio State and Oregon lose, Penn State wins, and Nittany Lions would have a shot at the number one seed. Could have the number one seed if if Ohio State loses today. Hot damn, and agreed. Yes, exactly. All right. Woo. Hey, look, I'm getting passionate about all my football, not just the SEC. So basically, Indiana has to beat Purdue. Indiana has to beat Purdue. Hoosiers had to have Ohio State beat Michigan, which has happened, and needs Maryland to beat Penn State to make the championship game. So basically, Indiana's out if Penn State wins. That's what it comes down to, because the cumulative conference percentage does not favor the Hoosiers against Indiana in a head-to-head matchup. So, all right. There's a fight going between Michigan and Ohio State. It seems like the police stepped in and used pepper spray. Oh, man. Wow, that will be interesting. I'm seeing well, I just turned and looked. I don't see that now, but they're interviewing somebody. But yeah, I tell you, they hated rivals. But I tell you what, I wish Small Town Republic was still here, because it's like, I think he made the comment about Ryan Day's mental health, or how his reaction to this game would be. And one of the announcers on the network mentioned that earlier. So, and JT Kirk has got to be thrilled now hearing about this. So hopefully he'll be able to come on with me tonight. Please remember to like, subscribe, yes, and check out Mrs. Dadman's Twitch and the YouTube channel. So, all right, thank you. Okay, definitely appreciate you putting all those in there. All right, so that's the situation, Connie. You got a lot playing on the big game, playing Maryland today. You should win that game, I think. But it will be, hey, this is what makes college football great. So, and let's see, as I mentioned earlier, Oregon will be playing later tonight against Washington on NBC. That game, though, is significant. If Washington can pull the upset, and now this is an Oregon team that struggled with Boise State and Idaho, a division of FCS level team early in the season. If Washington could somehow pull the upset, you could have a number one seed of Penn State in the Big 12 championship game. Big 10, sorry. Yeah, how football. Get some food, a good game and some guac, and you're good. Absolutely. And thank you, yes, for the Mrs. link there. So, all right. Wow. Wow. I'm just two crazy endings right there. Michigan with no offense beats off the high-powered Ohio State in Ohio, and then South Carolina with a fluky interception to save the game after giving Clemson such good field position. All right, so let's take a look where the games reside. I'm going to update all our scores, and let's see where we're at. I even gave up on the Tennessee game. I was like, that was a cool game for a little while, but so all right, let's go back. Let's see where we are. All right, with 3:22 left in the game, Tennessee has the ball. They're up 36-23 over Vanderbilt. This game, it was a nice season for Vanderbilt. They will get to go to a bowl game, but they today could not get the offense on track. Once Tennessee got going in the second quarter, it was all she wrote. Dylan Sampson for Tennessee has run for 165 yards. An amazing day for him. One of the best backs that come out of Tennessee in a long time. Oh, buddy, you're down for the Chipotle Bowl. All right. I don't think they have the Chipotle Bowl yet. If not, it won't be long. There was an avocado bowl. Wait a second. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's see. All right. There was an avocado bowl at one point, I thought. That's how much this stuff changes. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I guess it's got to go into schedules. I don't know. Dang it. Find these things. So the bowls. All right. Let's talk about the bowl games that will be coming up since these games are pretty much over. The Cricket Celebration Bowl, the Salute the Veterans Bowl, the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Yes, we've seen a few of those being built up in our town. Scooters Coffee, Boca Raton Bowl, the LA Bowl, Arnell Carriers New Orleans Bowl, which has been around a while, surprisingly. Staff DNA Cure Bowl, okay. Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Of course, that's on the 20th, which is the first round game. Of course, the first round games in the college playoffs will be on campus sites. Those other three games will be played on the 21st. Monday the 23rd, we got the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Hawaii Bowl on the Christmas Eve, which used to be the Sun Bowl. Game Above Sports Bowl the day after Christmas, Rate Bowl, and 68 Ventures Bowl. No Christmas Day games? That sucks. I wonder if the NFL's taking it over then. The 27th, a Friday, Lockheed Martin, Birmingham Bowl, AutoZone Bowl, DirecTV, Holiday Bowl, SRS Distribution, Las Vegas Bowl. The 28th, we got Wasabi. We may not have Chipotle yet or guac, but Wasabi Fenway Bowl. There was an avocado bowl, I know, at one point. But Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. I think we got a game in Fenway and we got a game at Yankee Stadium on the same day. It led up New Mexico Bowl, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I am tired of Snoop Dogg. Please. Damn Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Can we? Whatever. Go Bowling Military Bowl, the Valera Alamo Bowl, the Radiant Technologies Independence Bowl, which used to be the Poolan Weed Eater Bowl, the TransPerfect Music City Bowl, Relay Quest Bowl, Tony the Tiger's Sun Bowl on New Year's Eve, Cheez-It Citrus Bowl on New Year's Eve, Texas Bowl. Of course, we got the first college football playoff quarterfinal on New Year's Eve at the Fiesta Bowl. Then on New Year's Day, we've got three more quarterfinals: the Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Allstate Sugar Bowl. Of course, the day after New Year's, it's the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. See, and that's a night game. I think they did it because people like me that would have to work on the second, it becomes it's a work day the next day. So, but speaking of that, we're actually talking about the Miss and I are making plans to do the New Year's around the world again this year, which last year I fell 4 times on short, but we're going to better planning this year, having gotten some experience trying to do it right next year or in a month. So, Servpro First Responder Bowl, Duke's Mayo Bowl, the Bahamas Bowl, and then we're back to the playoffs, semifinals, and the championship game. So there is no avocados, but I swear there used to be an avocado bowl. So at one point, yes, it was the Cure Bowl. Yes, 2023. Let's see, the Cure Bowl, avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Wow, it had followed the Sun Belt champion be the MAC champion. Yeah, that's is there still the Cure Bowl though? I don't think so. Let me see if I can find something. Thank y'all for letting me go on this rampage. Oh, it changed sponsors. This Staff DNA Cure Bowl on Friday, December 20th. It's at Camping World Stadium. Up until last year was the Avocados from Mexico Bowl. So AFK, I was right. There were some avocados, so you would get your guac in that game. Sorry. All right, that was a nice little squirrel stream. Ever thought about doing a watch party for one of the bowl games or maybe the championship game? I have thought about it. I don't know about. I don't know that I could actually host it where we're actually watching it live. Because I don't have Prime in that standpoint, and it depends where they're situated. It had to probably be something like this where people can watch it separately and we can talk about it as things happen. So let's see. All right. And just like that, Miami has marched down the field and taken a 7-0 lead on top of Syracuse right off the bat. I think you're not going to see a motivated, very motivated Miami team come out and just dispatch Syracuse very quickly in preparation. I believe I'll have to let me check the ACC game in a second. So, yep, exactly. Thank you, buddy. So, Steve, hey, Steve, good to see you. Give you the Independence, Liberty, Sugar, Sun, Gator, Orange, Cotton, Rose Bowls. Those other are just consolation bowls. I agree. Add the Fiesta Bowl. SDOGG. Yeah, I know. I did not know, buddy. I did not know. Ugh. Not scoreless for too long, but yeah, the Fiesta. I remember that. I remember the Fiesta back in '95 when the Gators made the first national title game where they were going to play. It wasn't a national title game per se, but they got paired against number 1 Nebraska. They went out and, oh God, the whole joke, Florida got beaten so badly. It was like the joke for like years after was, this just in, Tommy Frazier scores again. It was so bad, that game. But the thing was a big 20-minute hallelujah chorus of the national anthem before the game. It's like, can we just play football? No. I'm serious. It was a gospel choir. It's like, it's just exactly. Hey, B from my junior, not football guy. Hey, well, we will make you into football. Erectile dysfunction ball. God. We're trying to help people. Well, we talked last night something about having the toilet bowl. So, all right, let me see with this. All right, let's take a look at the scores. Tennessee's going to win this game over. And I'm going to take a look. I've already looked at the Big Ten. So, Connie, if you're still there, good luck to your Penn State. If not, hopefully you've got the Big Ten Network. It's a shame that game's stuck where people can't watch it. For JT Kirk, Western Michigan is ahead 23-15 over Eastern Michigan. FIU leads Middle Tennessee 28-17. Georgia State was the team to beat Vanderbilt. That was one more win Vanderbilt should have had this year. It's at 3-8, and it's losing to Coastal Carolina 17-10. Troy leads. Speaking of Alabama, Troy leads Southern Miss 17-8 in a game of a 3-8 versus a 1-10 team. Boston College leads 6-0 over Pittsburgh. Sometimes when I get annoyed, call them Schittsburg. SMU, California, underway. SMU is driving. See, Northern Illinois has fallen to 6-5 after its wonderful upset of Notre Dame early in the season. So, early in the game, we just have a score. Maryland Let's see what happened. I bet it's probably a kickoff return. Or let's see what happened. Um, Interesting. Let's see. Let me go to the game quest because Maryland has now taken a 7-0 lead on Penn State right at the start of the game. Let's see. Penn State ran one play and fumbled. That's what happened. Penn State fumbled on the first play of the game, and Maryland capitalized with a 25-yard touchdown pass from MJ Morris to Caden Prather. PAT is good, and Maryland leads 7-0. All right, come on. Well, at least the backup plan is even if Penn State doesn't do it, Indiana will be. The whole point is to keep Penn State out. Keep Ohio State out of the Big 10 championship game. And yes, I do always call it Big 12. I just could call them the Big 18 now. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that game. I was trying to figure out how quickly they could score that quick. That was a very quick touchdown, and that would explain it. Notre Dame used it to see no score. Miami 7-0 up on the first drive. Arizona State has already scored a touchdown. Is now up 6-0 on Arizona. PAT pending. We've got Missouri and Arkansas, still no score. Michigan State is leading Rutgers 7-6, but Rutgers just scored. PAT pending for the State University of New Jersey West Cagle versus JT Kirk. At stake is a potential bowl invite for Michigan State with a win today. Or loss would eliminate them from bowl contention. UCLA and Fresno State no score. NC State and UNC no score, which is Mac Brown's last game. I believe he's been fired, and that it'll be his last game coming up. Probably about time for a change there. What a disastrous season after Max Johnson got hurt early in the season, and the other things that happened, like that game against James Madison, which was just incredible. Yeah, the toilet bowl. Yes, the toilet bowl is very, very important. Yes, North Carolina lost the game to James Madison 70-50. This year, it's like just it's sad how it's going to happen for them this year. So, all right, let's see with that. So I think that's all the current scores. Let's see how we go. All right. I don't really see a lot of great games out here of the non-standard of the. I'm going to limit my search to the top 25 games because there's really not many games out of interest outside the top 25 right now. Charmin would be a great sponsor for the toilet bowl. Yes, exactly. Well, just like that, Penn State now has pulled to win 7-3 with a 49-yard field goal from Ryan Barker. All right. And Arizona State made the PAT, so they are now up 7-0 in this game. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. All right. Let me flip back over. Time to check in on the Iron Bowl. Okay, Syracuse. I hate Syracuse, Dev. I told you I hated Syracuse because no sooner did Miami score. Syracuse is now on the board with a 40-yard touchdown pass. So, oh my gosh. Which is cool, guys. Hey, this is what college football should be about. It should be a lot of good games and a lot of fun back and forth. And, oh, hey, Tomby, welcome. Welcome, Tomby. We're talking of football today, a different type of football, but hey, I'm prepared to start talking world football, the football you guys over there know across the pond. How are you today? It is good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, boy, buddy. Uh-oh. Not only did Ohio State start the fight, Michigan players were the ones pepper sprayed by the Ohio State on-field security. What a concert. Yeah, I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of – wow, that's going to be interesting to see what happens as a result of that. So, Anyway, wow. Uh-oh. They have not put the board. Something. Let's see. There is a penalty. That touchdown for Syracuse just got called back due to penalty. Tommy, I hope you're doing good today. What have you got going on today? Today over here, it's the last day of the regular season of college football, so we're just hanging out. Felt like talking. Probably will do more college football tonight. Anytime to come live. But hey, and thank you for your shout outs, especially recently, Tommy. Tommy does a lot of great gaming, kind of cool, fun stuff, and does a lot of support for a lot of people out there. Sounds like Ohio State. Did I mention that I hate them? You mentioned that you hate them, kind of like I mentioned that I love the map in Fortnite currently. So that's all good. We will be going up through tonight. I am going to talk to JT, send JT Kirk a message in a bit to see if he'll be able to join for the game tonight. At least for some part to talk about scores today, get his feedback on it. I'm trying to let's see if I got ABC back so I can actually watch the Iron Bowl. Trying to do it without it being on my phone, because on my phone I can get more game options. So yeah. Yeah. So let's see what's going on with everything. Let's see. Oh gosh, I got it. West Cagle, you're funny. All right, let's see. No, my screen's still messed up over there. So I'm going to my backup plan on the TV, but the problem that it does is it involves me having to go into through ESPN3, which will keep me off my phone from watching a different game. But hey, the big game right now is that winner. What is that? Is the Iron Bowl? We've got all these games. We've got so many. What the hell? Is this snow? Did it snow? Oh my God! Did they have a blizzard in friggin' Missouri? Holy shit! That looks like friggin' Michigan. There's if you turn over. Oh my gosh! This is like the Dallas Miami game in the NFL many years ago. Oh, the field is so snowy. You can see the players gingerly stepping for footing. Wow. That is a bizarre thing. Oh, and it is truly a blizzard. You should see the big old snowballs the Missouri fans are. Oh my, Sci-Fi Mombi, are you out there somewhere? Didn't see snow coming to. I knew there was potential snow up through the Midwest and like the Carolinas and stuff, but my gosh, down into Missouri like that. Wow. Yeah, Arkansas and Missouri. Yep, that game is on now. Yep, it's awesome. So, yeah, all right. Oh, see, I love snow games. It's really cool, but it's falling. It is accumulating. They have got lots of white stuff on the field, so it's golly, folks. It's just nothing like great football. I mean, there are like, folks. It's not just like a sprinkling of snow. There are feet of snow on the sidelines and up in the stands and other places like that. You should see the size of the snowballs these people are building at this game. And you can watch them. It's always fun to watch a game in snow because everybody's running differently. These guys are not running. I mean, you can see that they're trying to be careful of their footing, and they're running different, a little slower. Like they're really methodical with their steps. Yeah, granted, it's an NFL game. Look at the Steelers-Brown game. Yeah, Football is extra fun and harsh. I agree. That's why I miss the old football, baseball fields, the ones that had this dirt in it and stuff, where they really got muddy and everything. That was a cool time. Well, and Arkansas just turned the ball over with a fumble by the quarterback. All right. And it just popped it out, and there you go. Absolutely. Nice recovery by Missouri, by the way. All right. Speaking of that, let me get off this game. Let's get over to the Iron Bowl and take a look at it, see what's going. Auburn had the ball first. They've got looks like a 3rd and 8. Illinois ends up winning today 38-28, so they're continuing to march on. No, Alabama has the ball. That was a huge play with that touchdown for Syracuse getting called back. Yeah. Auburn game all day. Wait. They called him down. No? Nope. I don't know. They called it a fumble. You're going to have to look at that game again, that play again. Yeah, that might have actually been a fumble by Alabama if he possessed the ball. It's they pace. I never saw the. That might be a fumble, but I never saw the ones where I had to look that up. They painted the baseball infield green. Oh my gosh. Well, we shall see what happens here. This call, it will be reviewed. I guess they were not going to review it. Alabama called timeout. I guess we do still have. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm amazed that they took so long to decide they were going to review that play. But it's we shall see. All right. Well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look real quickly at the ACC. Notre Dame has scored at USC. Go up 6-0. PAT pending. Miami has the ball back, so that touchdown was a big call. The reversal of that touchdown. So we go. SMU leads California 7-0. Arizona State is up on Arizona 7-0. Auburn, Alabama scoreless. They're looking at the last play to see whether it was a turnover. So like I said, 7 o'clock, big game. Purdue at Indiana, but 1-10 at 10-1. Indiana needs Penn State to lose to make the Big Ten championship game. Penn State is still down 7-3. They have the ball at their own 30-yard line. So but that game is really just getting started. We've let's see. Let's see. We're going to take a look at the ACC. Not unless you're play ahead. Yeah, they just ran it. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, let's take a look at the ACC. How Miami Clemson reached the title game against SMU. Okay, so SMU is in that game. They already punched a ticket to the championship game thanks to its win last week. Miami clinches a spot in ACC championship game with a win over Syracuse on the road. So Miami just has to win. and they looked very dominant on that first drive. Defense, kind of, but they had to play call back. So let's take a look. If Miami stumbles and loses against Syracuse, it opens the door for the Clemson Tigers. All right. All right, let's see. Clemson clinches a spot in ACC championship game with a Miami loss to Syracuse. The reason Clemson would go over Miami is because the Tigers' ACC record 7-1 would be better than Miami's with a loss 6-2. So if Miami wins, the Cajuns advance. Okay, it becomes the conference record then. Okay, but basically, Miami wins, they're in ahead of Clemson. If Miami wins, the Canes advance due to the ACC's tiebreaker, measuring the win percentage against all common conference opponents. Since Miami and Clemson didn't play each other, a head-to-head tiebreaker wouldn't apply. As you can see, the pass for Clemson and Miami pretty simple. Miami just needs to win, the Canes are in, whereas Clemson not playing an ACC opponent on Saturday just needs Miami to lose the Clemson playoff spot. Even if the Tigers fall to South Carolina, it won't affect their ACC title game chances, but it does affect their national national playoff titles. All right, so basically, let's see. I'm not sure what this is trying to tell me. It's like I'm trying to see what the head-to-head tiebreaker. I see they don't define it because they don't define it because okay. Tiebreaker measures win percentage against all common conference opponents. Okay, never mind. I misread it. They didn't play each other, so the head-to-head tiebreaker doesn't apply. But it's the common opponents, and Miami has a stronger sense, in essence, a stronger strength of schedule. So Miami wins, they are in. Miami wins, they are in, and we'll take a look at the SEC championship scenarios. All right, let's take a look at that. We've got that. Let's see there. All right. Let's take a look. SEC tiebreaker rules. Let's see. Texas, because Texas A&M, Tennessee, and Texas are all top the SEC standings with one conference loss each. Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss are great. Let's see. Let's see what. Beat Arkansas, Kentucky, and Texas. Okay, this is an old article. Let me get back off of that. So that was okay. That was 2 weeks ago. Touchdown, Missouri. All right. Let's see. Path to the final game. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, going into the final game, Georgia had already clinched a playoff spot for next weekend. Okay, wow. So the Dogs are going to be in Atlanta. From there, it comes all down. Oh, I guess Tennessee is out of it then. There's no way for Tennessee. It comes down to Texas A&M. Because Georgia did beat Tennessee head-to-head, even with 2 conference losses. So Texas has 1 conference loss, but if they lose tonight, it would be them against A&M. And then, okay, because Texas and Texas A&M are playing, if Texas A&M wins, both A&M and Texas would have 2 losses. A&M would have a tiebreaker since they beat Texas head-to-head. But if Texas wins, Texas is guaranteed and would be the number 1 seed against Georgia. That's how that works. So it's pretty simple in the Southeastern Conference. It's down to this game tonight at 7:30 for all the marbles in the South, to determine the second representative. But I tell you what, I've got a lot of love for the people in the Big Ten. It's going to be kind of cool to see somebody other than Michigan and definitely Ohio State out of the Big Ten championship game. So whether it's now Penn State going or Indiana to join Oregon, that remains to be seen. And just like that, like I told you, Miami's not playing around. Miami is up 14-0 on Syracuse. So that game is getting out of hand very quickly. So, okay, Alabama stops Auburn. It's a 4th down. Looks like Auburn's going to try a field goal. Yay! So, Malachi Moore made a good play. 4-0 versus Auburn. Wow. I wonder how he's 5th year. Anyway, you never know. I guess he was on the team for another year. So, all right. Auburn had enough. Ian Vachon is the kicker for Auburn. He's a great story. He's only played the last 2 games or so, and he missed his first kick, or he missed the second kick of the season. He's a good story because they pulled him basically out of class. He'd been playing at a small, very small, not even NCAA school, and he's just the school shut down his football program. He's in class at Auburn, and somebody apparently found out about him and that he kicked, and they brought him out, and he's taken over the kicking job because the kicking game has been very disappointing for Auburn this year. And then he jumps on and misses that field goal that could have taken an early lead against Alabama. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap up because I've been going to nearly 3 hours. What I do is take a break, get some stuff done around here. Hope to come back again later around 7:30, 7:45. I may go earlier than normally. We start at 7. I got to check with JT to see if he's going to join tonight, and then jump on for the Florida State game, and then we'll keep an eye on the Texas A&M game. As we go through, we'll have updates on the end of the Penn State game, and we'll figure out who's in the Big Ten championship game. We'll know more about who's going to be in the Big 12 championship game and the ACC championship game. But it's looking like Miami is a good bet to advance. I tell you, that's a scary team. When they get rolling offensively, they will put the points up early and often. So, all right. And then SMU leads Cal 14-0. Let me do one last round of scores. Maryland is leading at Penn State at Happy Valley 7-3. Big game. Penn State has to win to make the Big 10 championship game. Notre Dame up on the West Coast 7-0 over USC. What happened to that Miller guy? That Matt Miller? There was a Miller that was a quarterback for USC earlier the year, and it looks like when I saw him the other day, saw that team that he's gotten benched, hurt, or something. He is not quarterback. It's now Jaden Maeva. Definitely. I tell you what, that's another thing. Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma to go to USC. Huh. Interesting. See how that's turning out. Miami leads Syracuse 14-0. SMU leads California 14-0. Alabama, Auburn, no score. Arizona State has extended the lead to 14-0 over the Wildcats. Missouri leads Arkansas 7-0. And the remaining top 25 games start later tonight. My game tonight is Florida State at 7 o'clock. So we shall see what happens. All right. Well, I will get a break, and I'll catch you guys later. Great to have Tommy come through. AFK Bard, thank you. Great to see you again. Fallout Dave, good to see you. Buddy Hepburn. Brogu's been here. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. B from O Jr. came through. I said Tommy earlier. AFK Bard, so good to see you again. Connie Cleary, good luck. Hope your team pulls it back out. Buddy Hepburn, as usual. Atwood was here too. So the Comic Relief Crusader was here actually too. Yay. Stunning came in. I don't know if he's still here, but he came in and contributed farts to football. Hey, that works. Nothing like locker room talk. But on that note, folks, go ahead. We'll see you later in the evening. And we will have some more fun with football on the last regular season day of the season. Thank you all. Catch you later. Bye. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. I nearly left the studio without ending the stream, which could be interesting because then I don't know how to get back in. So I will end the stream and catch you later. Oh, yeah.